Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Good Game. It's West Ham United taking on Liverpool. Kick-off an hour and 5 minutes away, which means we'll have their fifth lineups in a few minutes' time. But I believe quite a strong team from West Ham. I think a lot of people will be happy. I'm looking forward to seeing the poll results regarding the starting 11. One player I think will raise questions, but apart from that, I think Moyes has picked a side that may make some happy. Gonzo, how is oneself?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. Looking forward to it. Should be an interesting game. My confidence diminished somewhat. I've seen a suggested lineup. So yeah, I'm not sure I'd be voting in that poll. Truth be known, but it's dented my confidence somewhat. We'll wait until.
What about the predicted lineup has dented your confidence?
Well, I certainly there were some frailties defensively against Crystal Palace, which appeared to be sort of fixed to some extent during the game, which would have pointed to him making certain selections in defence. If what I have been told is true, it appears that he's not learnt anything. So that would be a concern for me. But yeah, we'll see. I might be completely wrong. So there you go.
I think your concern may be confirmed in a few moments' time.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, listen. We'll deal with that when it comes to it. Ultimately, I am looking forward to it, though. This is a big. It's a big game for both managers, actually, isn't it? I think, as you alluded to when we did our breakfast show on Patreon, I think there's a lot of us who have more or less given up on the hope of European football for this season, but qualifying for it, obviously, ahead of next season is what I mean. For different reasons, both managers want to go out with a bang. I don't think either manager has given up on their own aspirations. I'm sure Klopp thinks he can still win it. Listen to David Moyes' press conference. He still thinks that Liverpool can win it. It was interesting to listen to David Moyes, actually, yesterday. He seemed a lot more chilled out. He seemed a lot more relaxed, dare I say, reflective on his time at West Ham. The words of a man that probably knows he's on his way out. It was a sort of, I felt a sort of calmness and a serenity about him, really. But I also got the impression that he thinks that European football is still up for grabs. So I think I expect. I think, do you know what? I think he is. I think this is him going for it. I really do. I think this is him going for it. And I like the team. It's just, I feel it might be a little bit of a blind spot defensively for him, which might pull the rug out from underneath him if it goes wrong.
Liverpool are there to be got at. They're not in great nick. Their confidence will be low. Klopp can say they're still in title race all he wants, but it doesn't mean the players will believe that, especially after watching Man City dismantle Brighton after 40 minutes. The game was done. It was over. You were watching that Man City team thinking they're just going to go on and win every game. And Liverpool players will also be thinking the same thing. They'll just be going, "Oh, this is it. We ain't doing this." So Liverpool are there to be got at today, and I think Moyes is right. Klopp was right to have that attitude, which is title race is still alive, because he has to. Could you imagine they went out today, didn't play that well, the attitude wasn't right, they failed to win, then Man City and Arsenal go fail to win this weekend? How embarrassing would that be? They have to assume one of those are going to drop points, both of them are going to drop points, just like we have to assume, and it's not beyond any realms of possibility that Man U failed to win against Burnley today. Man U looked terrible. They should win that game, but they scraped it against Sheffield United during the week. So we have to play on the assumption that people are going to nick points off Newcastle, Man United and Chelsea, including ourselves when we go to Stamford Bridge. And we have to be aiming to win a minimum of 3 games, including this one. And like I said, the last thing, I think the opportunity is gone myself. I don't think we'll get European football. But this is where a fan in the club can have different opinions and mentalities. The fans can sit there and go, I don't think we're going to get European. That's fine. You're a fan. You cannot impact that. But I don't want to hear the manager or the players say, I don't think we're going to get European. I don't want that from them. I want them to say, no, we can't get this. We're going to win our games. We're going to try and get 7th in the league. Because if Man U do slip up, I don't think Newcastle will. Not just today against Sheffield United, but I think their fixtures are quite easy enough. But Man U's is quite tricky, actually. There's 1 or 2 games in there you think, they might not win there. And I think the opportunity against Palace and Fulham is where we've really blown it. But you've just got to win your games and put the pressure on them. And that starts today. I think we've got to try and win this match and just pray that results go away. Because what weekend would it be if we won today and Man U drew against Burnley, Newcastle drew against Sheffield United, Chelsea are probably going to get beat by Villa later on tonight as well. Could you imagine how good and optimistic we'll feel tomorrow? I think, oh, hang on a minute, hang on, small shout, but at least there is something to play for. Anyway, just I hope we batter them today, quite frankly. I really do hope we get the win. Right then, the lineups should be out in a second. Would you like to know the West Ham team when it's announced by the club?
I think we would all like to know the West Ham team once it is announced by the club. But don't forget, when you look at that team, vote in that poll.
The West Ham team is as follows. Alphonso Areola returns to the sticks. He's in goal for West Ham today. And it's the same back four that faced Crystal Palace last week, as Gonzo was alluding to. So foul right back with Kurt Zouma and Angelo Ogbonna at centre-back and Emerson at left-back. We will cover the bench, but I just want to give a little bit of context to you. There's no Mavpanos and there's no Aguirre. So that's why Ogbonna is starting at centre-back today. But however, moving into midfield in the attack, in midfield, we've got a pairing of Edson Alvarez and Thomas Souček with Lucas Paqueta on the number 10, Mohamed Kudus on the left, Jai Bourne on the right, and Michael Antonio up front. So it's a little bit like one half of the team you're possibly scared of, and the other half Liverpool is scared of.
Yeah, look, I mean, it just has to work for him, really. Maybe he feels he's got nothing to lose in that sense. I mean, I guess if we can keep attacking them, we can hopefully keep their attack away from our defence. But yeah, I mean, I would have had Johnson in there somewhere. Probably, would have had him at right back if one of the centre backs had been fit, or I certainly would have looked to have drafted him in for Ogbonna. I hope Ogbonna has a magnificent game, rolls back the years, and is not done for pace at any point. But it was as bad against Crystal Palace as I've seen from. I mean, just didn't look like a Premier League defender anymore. And I know Palace had a fast team, but it's not like Liverpool have no quick players. They have a whole lot of quick players to choose from, irrespective of what the makeup of their starting lineup is. And even if they're quick, some of their quickest players are not playing, that they'll come off the bench. That's the worry for me. However, I do think the midfield and the attack is a good one. Yeah, I mean, look, we both alluded to the fact that maybe Paquetá has not been great in the last few games and probably in form doesn't deserve to start. But it's up to him to puff his chest out and actually show what a world-class player he is and do something in this game. He can't afford to have another crap game off the back of the 3 or 4 he's had before. But look, midfield and forward line I'm happy with. Defence worries me.
Yeah, I think if Paquetá, once he's moved to Man City, he's got to turn up today. It's as simple as that, really. The defence, I'd like to maybe seen something creative from David Moyes here rather than just going with the same four as last week. And I appreciate that no Mavpanos and Aguirre makes things a little bit tricky. But it's hard to not look at that centre-back and get a little bit worried for this game. Somebody just commented an alternative, which I wouldn't have wanted to have seen, but it would have been something different, which Oval said, what about Alvarez at centre-back? And then Ward-Prowse next to Souček. Dodgy midfield, but maybe better Ogbonna. And that's something you could have done. Alvarez used to be a centre-back before he got moved into midfield. So it's not that he doesn't have options. And, he's got Casey. He could have used Casey if he wanted to. Putting a youngster in against Liverpool, risky. But it's any riskier than playing Ogbonna against Liverpool?
I think that's as bad as we've seen. I think almost any other combination, be it Johnson, a youngster, Alvarez, as suggested there, almost anything carries less risk than Ogbonna.
Yeah, I mean, he does occasionally. Sometimes I've seen him this season play crap, and then the next game, play really good again. So you don't know what Ogbonna you're getting, but he was horrific last week against Crystal Palace, and he's fortunate to be started again today. And sort of, I guess the thing is, while there's uncertainty over the manager's future, for some people who have grievances with how David Moyes approaches his team selection, this is just another example where he's just gone with the same back four as last week, despite getting ripped apart by Crystal Palace, just on the basis that they're the 4 senior players. That's the only reason they're playing here today. Emerson's the only one in that back four on merit, I would argue.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It's almost like he's a new manager coming in, but he's not seen the video footage of the Crystal Palace game. Yeah, that it's. But you may well have a situation whereby maybe Ogbonna, I'm clutching at straws here. Maybe Ogbonna with the benefit of a game under his belt, or a half under his belt, and a week's training, might be a bit more sharpness. I mean, he's not going to get faster, that's for sure. But maybe, look, if the rumours are correct about the Liverpool team, maybe he won't be tested as much for pace in that first half as we might have suspected.
Blank Lad, thank you. He said, what are we doing for the poll? Is it based on who is available? Yes, it is. It's based on who's available. So you can't, if you're going to downvote it, say I don't like it, that's okay, but don't do it on the basis that a Gerd isn't starting or Matt Panelson starting. They're unavailable. So based on the players available to David Moyes today, how do you feel about West Ham starting 11? The poll is live in the live chat. 4 options to select from. Please select whichever one reflects your opinion on West Ham starting 11 today. And then we'll get the results when Charlie comes on. Right, we're going to go and have a look at the bench at West Ham very quickly before moving on to Liverpool one, because I genuinely don't know it, but some people are making me a little bit excited in the live chat, truth be told. So it'll be interesting to see what Klopp's done. But the bench for the Hammers is as follows. Lucas Fabianski returns to the bench with Aaron Creswell and Danny Ings. Ben Johnson's on there alongside Maxwell Kearney and James Ward-Prowse. Calvin Phillips is on the bench alongside Divine Mubama, and Casey is on the bench as well. So Orford is the one that drops out in order to make way for the return of somebody.
But Kate was
Jared
Casey.
Bowen.
Yeah, cool. Casey was on there last time. Yeah,
Jared Bowen has returned, so Orford's the one that's dropped out. So that's
Yes.
the bench for the Hammers this afternoon. Now, what I suggest we do, Gonzo, I think we just jump straight into the Liverpool team.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Right. Oh, they've done it in numerical order. Why do teams? I hate when teams do that. Charlie, I'll pop up on the screen. Here's the Liverpool team for you, and I'll just read it off there. Alisson in goal with Alexander-Arnold right back, Van Dijk and Quansah centre back, Robertson left back, Endo in defensive midfield with Gravenberch and McAllister, Harvey Elliott on the right, Luis Diaz on the left, and Gakpo up front. I assume that's how they'll line up front. I assume Gakpo will be the central one with Elliott on the right.
Yeah, it's obviously the Nunez and Salah, as people were speculating, not in the team, and yeah, I mean, I'd assume they were on the bench. Look, that's not their strongest team, but I understand why Klopp has done it, because they played midweek and they would have been tiring, mentally and physically exhausted Merseyside derby when losing to Everton. So I understand why he's done that. And let's be fair, Salah's not been the same player. Well, you could even argue all season, to be fair, he's not been the same player. And Nunez, as always, looks sharp and dangerous, but he's struggling to hit the back of the net, or he just get a shot on target a lot of the time. So yeah, I understand why he might have done that. Gakpo, we've not seen too much of him. He doesn't get that as many starts as some of the other guys, but it's an interesting Gravenberch coming into the midfield. Probably with Endo and Gravenberch there allows McAllister to be a little bit further forward as well. To start, trying to probe and dink the ball over the top to some of these players. Yeah, I think, Diaz against Soufal is an area of some concern.
It's not prime Liverpool, though, is it? It's not one that strikes fear into you like previous. Harvey Elliott, I think it's been hit and miss this season. I think Luis Diaz looked good against Everton, but he was the only player that did. Gakpo, he was missing during the week because his partner has just given birth, so he's just turned, I don't know if it's his first child or a second child, whatever, but he's just become a father again this week. Gravenberch's been hit and miss as well. I think Endo's done well recently. I was a bit suspicious when he arrived, and I thought he was a bit slow. I say slow. I didn't think he was good enough for Liverpool. I'm still not sure he is. I think he's putting good performances, but I don't think he's a title-winning defensive midfielder. Well, let's put it this way. Is he as good as Declan Rice or Rodri? Absolutely not. And that's what the other two title contenders have in their locker. The team below them, Aston Villa, would you swap him for Luis Diaz? No, sorry, Douglas Luiz, the other way around there. Douglas Luiz, no, you wouldn't. I'd prefer Douglas Luiz. So I would argue he's not good enough for Liverpool, but he's done quite well this season. But yeah, I'm not fearing them. I'm more fearing us. If that makes sense. I'm more worried about our defence and what Liverpool have got, because there's definitely a goal in that Liverpool team, but I think there might be one in ours as well. Right then, the bench for Liverpool this afternoon it's pretty strong. There's a lot of options on the bench for Jurgen Klopp. Keller is on there, their substitute goalkeeper, as well as Joe Gomez and Kanate. So Bosley's on there with Darwin Nunez. Salah's on the bench with Curtis Jones. Smikas is on the bench, as well as Baztek. He is on the bench as well. Not bad options.
No. Yeah. I mean, there's players on the bench who probably you'd think, may or may not be in that first team. I mean, I think Canate being on the bench is good for West Ham. I've got to say, I think he's a bit of a probably the player most able to deal with Antonio in many respects. I know I'm not belittling Van Dijk, far from it. But if he's the Van Dijk plays left centre back, if Antonio's ever going to pull any direction, it will be more to the other side, to the other centre back if he can. So that's interesting. I'm just really good. Szoboszlai and Salah, Nunes, Jones, obviously you like as well. They've got. I mean, it's an excellent bench, and it's this game we've got to be really careful here, because this could be one of those games where we've seen them multiple times this season where we could possibly do all right in the first half, and then you'll have a manager that's quick to react in Klopp and will make changes, and we may well see that even after 80 minutes or so, we've still got that same old team out there, and they start to run out of puff. And this could be an interesting one. It's got to be sharp today, Moyes. It's got to be really, really sharp, actually.
Yeah, so did the players. No excuse. They've had a week off. Liverpool had a midweek game. It's Klopp's kickoff time they absolutely detests as well. But we've got to be leading by the hour mark. If we want to win this game, we cannot be trying to pinch it in the last 10, 15. It ain't going to happen. Klopp's bench is ridiculously full of talent at the minute. And you're seeing Everton, what Everton did to them during the week. They punched them up a bit. And then when Klopp did make the changes, A, Everton were already in front, and B, they were a little bit like for like and almost like didn't really make an impact or anything. However, I do strongly think the bench tonight, this afternoon even, was a lot stronger for Liverpool than it was against Everton at Goodison Park. Against Everton, he had options, but somewhat bringing Harvey Elliott on and bringing Salah on, there's a significant difference between the two of them. So I think today his bench is a lot stronger, but I'd argue that perhaps the starting 11 isn't as strong as it was, although they didn't perform very well at Goodison Park. So I think there's an opportunity there. I'm struggling to get my hopes up too much just due to our defence, Gonzo. I just it's not a good one. Unless we're going to sit in, play the low block and do it really well, I struggle to get on. Charlie, I don't know why Charlie's called it the Liverpool Palace lineup. I'm not sure. There's obviously a typo from last week. He'll either disappear and he'll fix it, or he's not at his computer and it's going to remain on the screen. But it says I'm aware it says Liverpool Palace, but it's not the end of the world. The starting 11 is still the starting 11, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This ain't Sky Sports, as you can tell.
No. Well, we'd only be worried if people start turning up at Selhurst Park and stuff. Well, hold on. Different journey.
Anyway, right. Myself and Gonzo are going to do a bet right now, and if the bet wins, we're going to get winnings to one of you lot. It might be a bit of tasty odds, actually, because whenever we play one of the Sky Sports Top 6, the odds can get a little bit juicy. So hopefully we can get some good ones. But before we do that, if you're new around here, please do subscribe to Hammer's channel. Do drop a like on the video as well by clicking thumbs up. Helps out the video, helps out the channel, and it helps us out today, right now, because if people come onto YouTube and type in West Ham Liverpool, this will be the #1 recommended video. Well, probably not. That'll be bigger Liverpool channels than us doing it, but we will be at the top somewhere. But your likes help drive us up the YouTube algorithm, so please get liking that video. I just want to point you in direction of Matched Bingo. You can download the app via the link in the description below. It's free download, free to sign up, but it is a gambling app, so please do gamble responsibly. However, for the West Ham Liverpool game, it's only £2 per card. You'll be given 15 things that you need to occur in the game. You'll need 6 West Ham things, 6 Liverpool things, and 3 match things. So those various things you may need is West Ham to take a kick-off, Liverpool to have a throw-in, West Ham to have a shot on target, Liverpool to miss the target. Lots of different things. It's a little bit of fun to play along with as you go. But Match Bingo update everything for you, so don't worry. They've got a boosted pot, which I'll tell you about in just a second. But Gonzo, what are you fancying for the bet?
Look, any result I think is possible here. It would almost any result. I could see West Ham. Well, no, sometimes there's not. Sometimes there's not. If we were playing Man City, I would say no. There's we've got next to no chance. But Liverpool, there's mitigation here. Liverpool are tired, so if West Ham were to win, I'd be obviously delighted. But I think there's a chance West Ham can win. A draw wouldn't surprise me, and neither would Liverpool winning, which I think is probably the most likely outcome. That being said, I think we're looking at goals here from both teams, so I would probably go veer more towards that, and maybe naming a couple of goal scorers might be our best chance of winning someone some money.
All right, then pick a goal scorer. What are you fancying? Who are you fancy to hit the back of the net?
Antonio.
Antonio to score. That'll get us rocking and rolling. Right, I'll put both teams to scoring as well. So Liverpool will score a goal.
Over 3 or 4 goals. Can you do that?
We can do over 3 goals if you want. So we need a minimum of 4 goals in the match.
I think there will be.
Right, we'll whack a bit of that in as well. Who's could do up against Trent? That could be an interesting angle. Do you reckon Trent will do at least 1 foul? He's got to, with Kudus to run after.
If you don't think that make a difference, I'm looking for a right old curveball.
Just 1 foul, yeah. Bowen to have a couple of shots.
Yep.
That's my favourite thing when it comes to sort of betting on West Ham. That'll do. Yeah. Let's just keep it realistic. It's deleted it. It said it's not available anymore, the bet. Why? What have I done?
Why have they done that? Cheeky
Rude.
bastard.
Let me start again. Right, over 3 goals.
Antonio, they knew it was a winner, that's why.
I'm not going to do both teams score. It doesn't change the odds, just in case West Ham win 4-0. Shots, Jared Bowen, and then Trent Alexander-Arnold foul. Where are you, Trent? Let's get that in. The odds are higher than they were earlier. Oh well. Right, we'll do 2 £100 winners. 2 people will win £100 cash if this bet wins. Listen up. There's 4 things. Mikel Antonio needs to score a goal. Over 3 goals. So we need 4 goals or more in the match. Doesn't matter which team scores those goals as long as Antonio bags one of them. Jared Bowen to have 2 shots. Doesn't have to hit the target. Could be blocked by the defenders. 2 shots. And Alexander-Arnold to commit a foul. 2 people will win £100 cash. To enter in the live chat, please put the following phrase.
In honour of our geriatric defence, we're going with the old classic Zuma frame.
Zuma frame, get that into the live chat. And if that bet wins, 2 people will win £100 cash. Later on today, maybe tomorrow. I might just message you tomorrow and get them. Anyway, right then, let me get my match bingo cards. I'm getting my match bingo cards now because I do know there's an enhanced pot for today. So let me just check what it's at. Here we go. Right, so Match Bingo, we told you about it. Please do download the app via the link below. So the first person to get the first line will win 25 quid. The first person to get 2 lines will win £50, which we had various winners on, including Gonzo a couple of weeks ago. The first person to get a full house will win £500. £500 if you're the first person to get your card marked off. And there's a bonus pot. So whoever wins gets a full house but wasn't the first person to win it will be put into the bonus pot. And if there's obviously 2 people that's in the bonus pot, get 250 quid each. So there you go. They've got £1,075 up for grabs on Match Bingo today for this match. Brilliant. Please do use the link in the description below to download it though. And if it's £2 per play, but you can only spend a maximum of £10 because gambling responsibly is something that this app takes into consideration. And during the week, there is free cards to get involved in. You can grab a bingos for this afternoon as well, where you get 15 teams you need to score a goal, and it also pays out real cash as well. It's free. That card is free. Don't need to deposit money to get that one. But anyway, thank you very much to Match Bingo for the sponsorship, and thank you to everybody that's got involved. Last night, Dave, who's one of our patrons, messaged to say, hey, I put £2 on the Man City Brighton game and won 50 quid. So we've had
nice one, Dave. Little tip for you, boys and girls, as well. The Aston Villa v Chelsea game, big prize pot on that one as well. You might want to check that one out.
Right then, Gonzo, you've seen the teams. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, nothing about the attack surprised me, and nothing about the midfield surprised me. I am just concerned because I just thought he might want to sort out the stuff that went wrong against Palace, and I would hope to be wrong. I would hope he knows more about these things than I do, and he's seen something in training. It does seem to be at the moment just playing Soufal irrespective of how he performs. It doesn't matter how bad he is, he performs. I like it when David Moyes says the words that that we can qualify for Europe again next season. I do think he's speaking like a man on the way out, but I also want him to have enough desire for him to stick 2 fingers up at his critics. I want him to get that 4th season of European football, stick 2 fingers up everyone, say, right, do the mic drop and say, right, I'm gone. Good luck to you. I want him to do that. I absolutely want him to do that. I just don't feel he's giving himself the best chance of it. I just find it slightly odd that you would concede that many goals, then during the match, change your formation, remove the player at half-time who's culpable for conceding those goals, take the person at right back out of the firing line, and for him to do that and to see it. I know we conceded another goal. What was it? So the second half was 1-1, right? Have I got it right? The second half was 1-1. The first half...
We won 1-0 with Calvin Phillips on the pitch.
Absolutely. There you go. But yeah, so the first half was we lost 4-1 and the second half was 1-1. So there's quite clear data there. I'm really surprised he's gone back to the thing that caused the first half capitulation. That's odd, and that's worried me. So it's sort of dented my confidence, because I did actually, as you know, in the preview, I thought we might win this game, and now I'm possibly thinking of what might happen is I think we might start well. I think we might score, and I'm worried that we might see a sort of bit of a Newcastle, not rather than a Crystal Palace. I think we might see a Newcastle here, with this game, or an Aston Villa, with us sort of enjoying.
I think the difference is, though, Palace were 4-0 up at half-time. They were never going to approach the second half in the same manner,
for sure,
as the first half. I think there was elements of fatigue last week, and it's not that. I think, like I said, I've pointed out about how Aston Villa, Man City and Arsenal went on to win their games at the weekend, despite two of them playing extra time during the week. And that is a tactical thing. It's an attitude thing. They just turned up and got the job done. But tactically, they had an advantage over their opponent. Whereas I think Crystal Palace had one over us because we didn't know how to deal with Elise and Eze.
Yeah,
I don't think Liverpool will have that sort of. They're a bit more. I think Liverpool's formation today suits our defence more than what Crystal Palace did last week. The way that Elise and Eze came inside and dropped deep, and they were in that space between our midfield and defence, we didn't know what to do. James Ward-Prowse spent 45 minutes running around with his arms out to the side going, hang on a minute, who's marking who here? But I think today it's a bit more rigid. So Emerson will be up against Elliott. He will cut inside a bit, but not as much as Elise did. Elise didn't cut inside. Elise came inside. There's a big...
I beg your pardon?
There's a big difference there. And as a result of that, Ogbona's got pregnant.
That's why he was running so slow. It looked like he was carrying a bit of timber.
But so there you go. Listen, I'm excited for our attack. I will say this. Souček, Alvarez, Paqueta, Kudus, Bowen, Antonio. I'm excited for that. If we turn up and our boys are on form, we can win this game. We can. But you do need Ogbonna and Zuma to both be playing 8 out of 10 in order to go on and win it. They're capable of it. They are. It's just, does Ogbonna have one more good game for West Ham in his locker? That's what we need today. We just need him to have one more big game.
I don't mind being up the duff, get out there and perform some.
Listen,
that's what the team talk needs to be.
We can make Premier League history today. Be the first team ever to win with a pregnant man in the team.
That would be groundbreaking. And I think incredibly modern and progressive of us.
Well, to be fair, I thought it'd be about 2032 before that happened. We're on our way, but
we are.
It's it'd be quite cool.
I'll buy a season ticket for that, I tell you.
Modern club, West Ham. We're a modern club. Right then, time to get your comments. Please get them into the live chat. First of all, I just want to say a massive thank you to Nicholas. Said thank you for all your hard work and content. I hope you're doing well, Nicholas. Bless him.
Nicholas is doing well. I spoke to Nicholas this week. And for those of you that might have followed Nicholas's story on Channel 4, he's had some better news, which is not mine to break. But thinking of you, mate, always.
Well, I want to know the news now. Hoping you can fill me in.
I will. But it's good. It's
not like Elise did to Ogbonna, though. None of that.
I'm not going to fill you in like that. We don't want you up the duff as well, quite frankly, do we?
Do you know on The Apprentice? Yes, I watched The Apprentice. I do like The Apprentice, right? It was the final last week, and one of the guys manufactures pies, so they had to come up with a company name for his pies, and one of the women said, "What about Phil My Pie?" And they were like, "What?" But his name was...
Hold on, what's his name? Phil?
Yeah, for a bit of content. Right. So she was like, "What about Phil My Pie?" And they're all a bit like, not sure about that one, but she didn't understand what she was suggesting, really.
I'd have gone with that. I wouldn't have. Well, I'm not saying I would have wanted him to fill my pie, but I wouldn't have minded it as a.
Nicholas says you can share it, and he's moving in a couple of months.
Okay, well, basically, Nicholas had a very, very hard time. Been treated very, very poorly. There was Channel 4.
It's worse than poorly.
In a documentary. Been treated absolutely horrendously in a care home. I'm not going to go into too many details right now, but I am delighted to report, and thank you for allowing me to share your good news, Nick. He's been given a bungalow. He's got a bungalow, and it's brilliant. It's just magnificent. It's great. It's great news. If you could see the way that this poor man had been treated, it's been made it's been exposés about it. It's been in the national news. It's been the treatment he's got and had is absolutely horrific. Never mind light at the end of the tunnel. He's out of the tunnel now. He's moving into his own place. It's just magnificent news. We're delighted for you, mate.
Love that. It puts football, even before the game's kicked off, it puts football into perspective a little bit. That there's somebody that was abused in the system. Go look it up. It's on Channel 4. You can watch it on YouTube. Nicholas's story. It's really eye opening, and it's quite emotional to watch. Actually, it's very very.
We love you. We love you to bits, mate. We really do.
Right then, let's see what we were saying. Last thing on Nicholas before we move on. He says he can't wait to finally start having a life and actually get good care. Bless him. Right then, let's see what you're saying about the game. Get your thoughts in about the West Ham team, the Liverpool team, and let's see what you're all saying. Jess says, hate to say it, but I think this could be another loss by more than 5. I think it's Moyes' last game. Feels like the season's over already. I'm not sure we'll get hiding. Yeah, I could be wrong, obviously. I don't think we will, and I don't think it's Moyes' last game. I think we could get beat 5-0 today. I'm confident he'll be here for the Man City one, and that's
I think so.
A little bit of positivity from Michael. He says this is a centre-back pairing that kept Arsenal out earlier on in the season, despite them having a record amount of touches in our 18-yard box.
I like it. I like it.
Mark is asking, do you think Paqueta will leave West Ham before someone wins the shirt? No, because we're giving away at the end of the season regardless.
A nice toilet, Mark, by the way. I like that.
I don't know. I think I'd be scared to do the toilet on that toilet. Put me off.
Have a Donald Trump in it, wouldn't you?
Mancunian says, dreading watching the game, and I felt it prior to most games this season. Looking forward to a new manager with a new ethos. Yeah, I am starting to feel a little bit perkier now that Lopetegui looks like he's joining AC Milan. That's the best news I've got today. I'm not gonna lie. You know how much I don't want him.
Have the bunting up, Geo.
Yeah, I'm forgetting. Thing is, I've never been anybody but Moyes. I've never been anybody but Moyes. Like, who would you prefer, Rafa Benitez or David Moyes? David Moyes. So already I'm proving it. I'm not anyone but Moyes. And I would have found it hard to pretend to be excited about Lopetegui.
Nuno Espirito Santo or David Moyes?
Moyes.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or David Moyes?
Moyes.
Okay.
Can we stop playing this game? Because people
everybody join in the chat.
Everybody's going to start hammering me for wanting Moyes to stay.
We need to find your level. I think that's what we need to find out.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. There's plenty I prefer. There's plenty of risks I'd like to take. Kieran McKenna, Michael Carrick, risks.
So you'd take Carrick over Moyes?
I'm up for the risk. Okay. I'm up for the risk. And then there's some safe pair of hands. And I think Lopetegui was safe. I don't think he would have got us relegated. But I don't want safe. I want exciting. I want something to get me excited. This is the man that signed Craig Dawson and wanted to sign Alan Craswell and Michail Antonio. So if you're looking for a younger, fresher playing squad, this man identified our 3 30-plus-year-olds and tried to sign them at Wolves. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
So what it's like, you're looking at like a transfer strategy of the incoming manager. That man was signing tried and tested Premier League players. So I was never Lopetegui. I would say Moyes, but again, without no, it's not Moyes. Sorry, Potter, but Gary O'Neill. I would go Gary O'Neill. I'd go Gary O'Neill. Definitely not Big Sam.
There we go. All right, I'll stop.
We're not sitting here playing this. Yeah, we're not sitting here playing this game. Thank you very much.
No, I'll do one more.
That would be fun, wouldn't it? Can you imagine his team talks?
You go wide, get it wide. That's what he'd be saying.
Anyway, right. Come on, let's get conversation. Everyone's just asking me to pick between managers. I'm not picking between managers all day.
I like
right?
it. So they're enjoying it. You can't, you know.
There's plenty I'd like. There's plenty I don't want. It's simple. It's not. So I don't want Cooper, but I would take Kieran McKenna. Right? Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Here's one about the game. Thank you, Mark. Mark said, "Who'd have liked Johnson rather than Soufal?"
So I think we can all safely
God's
say, internet, that Geo is Moyes in.
Don't do that. That's gonna. Hey Ross, thank you. You paid £2 for this as well to say thank you for being sensible.
That's all
No,
right.
no problem, Ross. Thank you for the £2 super chat. Much appreciated. You didn't have to do that, but thank you very much. But people, the thing is, right? Where's somebody's just asked a clever one here? Where is it, Michael? This is clever because Michael and other people know I'm gonna pick Moyes over Frank Lampard. I like it. It's clever.
Yeah, it's definitely Moyes. Right. It's he would prefer Moyes over most managers. I think. Internet. I think we can say that safely say that about Gio.
Anyway, this is good. Hammer 99 said Moyes has got to roll with it. He can't live forever, and hope he doesn't look back in anger.
Oh, that's magic. That is very good.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. I'm warming to Fonseca though. I've got a feeling Fonseca is the next manager.
Have you?
Yeah, I've had a feeling for a week or two. I feel like he's a compromise between Steiden and Sullivan, and I've just got a feeling it'll be Fonseca. And my money's on. My money's.
He's a German bloke that used to work in the porn industry.
My money is on Fonseca.
Okay.
My money, literally, my cash is on Fonseca being next week. There's no in the nose shit here, by the way. Before people start putting money on it, you told me to do that. I'm not telling anybody to put money on it. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, which is I think he will be the next West Ham manager. Money where my mouth is. I've got my money on him. I've warmed to him. So, right then, it's time to find out the results of the poll and get away from this bloody Moyes chat, please. Bevo!
Hello, how are you?
Well, I was doing good until Gonzo stitched me up.
Oh, what? Did he expose you for being Moyes in? Is that what it was?
Oh, for God's sake, don't you start as well. Don't you start.
Crazy.
Don't you start.
You hate to see it, folks. Exposed live in front of 900 plus people. Madness.
Madness.
Anyway, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Do you know something? I'm actually looking forward to the game. I'm not pretending. I still think we'll lose. I think we will lose today. But I'm looking forward to it. Not the defeat, but there's no pressure on us today. Previously, it's been like win and we go 6 and hope we need to win this game. It's a big game. I don't feel like that today. I don't feel like it's a big game today. Gonzo, what are you laughing at? What have you done?
Nothing.
You've done something. What have you done? Go on. Have you been mouthing something while we're looking at the webcam?
I haven't done anything.
What have you done?
I'm an innocent man.
I'm surprised he hasn't noticed, I'll be honest.
I can't believe it.
I can't notice anything. Oh, for God's sake. I don't look at that bit of the video. That's Charlie's bit.
I'll put it back. There you go.
Oh, for God's sake.
That wasn't on that. Sorry. Well, I'm not. Sorry.
Anyway, but yes, I'm looking forward to the game because there's no pressure on us. It's all on Liverpool today. Win, buzzing, lose, as expected, draw. Well, that's a bit of a meh result, really, isn't it? But I just want to win so I can. During the week, I've seen Brighton get smashed, Chelsea get smashed, and I've not been able to enjoy it as a West Ham fan, if that makes sense. I want to be able to, just in case Burnley beat Man U at Old Trafford, I want an extra reason to enjoy that, and that starts with us winning today. So I
think that's the thing. Like, I heard you sort of say it earlier. I think Gonzo said it as well, but like. It's one of those situations where the fans and the club can think different things. Everything I've heard out of the club still suggests that they're like, now our job is to get Europe. We've just got to get Europe, and so they have to be coming into this game going like, this is a game we can win. Us as a fan base feel like we've all sort of given up and we're just like, whatever, it's the end of the season now, let's start to think about managers, let's start to do this, that and the other. Like, There is that sort of general malaise over it. But everything I've heard out of the club, Mikel Antonio, even if you want to go as far back to when we lost to Leverkusen, Mikel Antonio straight after the game was like, look, our job's now to get into Europe via the league and stuff like that. And I think that's the only thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for a response because against Crystal Palace, we were god-awful. And I'm just looking for us to come out and look like we're still fighting for Europe as opposed to just rolling over to Liverpool again.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree with that. And you want professionalism from the players, and they are professional footballers. I would not only expect them to say that, but I'd expect them to do that and keep fighting. They've loved the journey. They love being in Europe. And irrespective of whether David Moyes is there or not, I think I'm guilty of putting too much stock on the David Moyes stuff. There are a team of players out there and a squad of players, some of whom, not everyone's off, some of them know they're still going to be here next season and they'll want European football. So I do expect them to go out and fight for it. And I would definitely put Antonio in that bracket. And don't forget, even if we all accept that David Moyes is not going to be here and people at the club know, then there's going to be people there seeing this as a second chance. There's going to be people, you take Antonio just to go with him. He wants to make sure that whoever comes in next season is still going to use him. So, people are going to want to impress. It's not just getting us into Europe as an audition. Some people are playing for their careers. Some people in the form of Ben Johnson might well be thinking, hold on a second, it looks like I'm gone, but maybe I'm not. So, I mean, there's going to be motivation within the squad.
I completely agree. I think the majority of these players start next season. I did a video earlier week. I said 7 will be starting. I think the first game of the season next season, 7 of these will be starting for us. You look at it, Areola, Emerson, Soufal's got a contract extension, whether you want him here or not. We've extended his contract. And then Alvarez, Souček, Kudus, Bowen, Antonio, possibly even Paqueta. So most of them will be here next season. Zuma will probably still be here. Whether you want him here or not, doesn't really matter. It's going to be hard to shift somebody on those wages with that injury concern. So I think, I think I'd like to see a reaction from the boys today and try and get the win, because we can beat this Liverpool team. I feel like we can. I thought we had a better record against them than we did since we beat them a couple of seasons ago. I had a look, and Moyes has played. Well, here's a little question for you. I've kind of given it away a bit, but Moyes has played Jurgen Klopp 13 times as a manager. What do you reckon? What do you think the record is? This is all competition, so it includes
3 wins for Moyes, 7 for Klopp, and whatever's left, 3 draws.
Yeah.
What?
Bevel?
2 wins for Moyes, 9 for Klopp, and then whatever the rest are draws.
2 draws. You're both incorrect. There's 1 win, 1 draw, and 11 defeats.
That sounds about right.
So he's won once, and that was a couple of seasons ago at the London Stadium when we won 3-2.
Because I was thinking about this before I came on, right? Because a lot of times when we face, not to go too deep into the Moyes stuff and people get annoyed, but a lot of times when we face like teams like Liverpool, Man City, Man United, whoever it be, I often think, as much as it's frustrating, the way Moyes plays is probably correct for those scenarios, because you're going to be up against it, so you want to be able to absorb and then pounce on the counter attack, and that's kind of the vibe. And a lot of the time I think, do you know what, that is probably the right way to set up against these teams. But as I was walking around getting my glass of water, turning the lights on, whatever, I did just start to think, Liverpool just smash us every time. Liverpool just beat us. They do just beat us. Like, as much as I think that might be correct, man, they just beat us. So what the hell are we doing here, you know?
Yeah. So, right then, I'm going to disappear. Gonzo, you disappearing as well?
I am indeed disappearing. I am.
Before you go, Gonzo, you said 3-1 West Ham in the preview. I'm picking up your vibe during this video. That's not going to remain that score. But would you like to alter your score prediction?
Without you needing to write it on a bit of paper, I'm going to go with actually. I think it might reverse it. I think we might well start well. I think the game could run out of our favour later on in the game. I think we'll lose 3-2.
Okay, well, Gonzo, thank you very much. I'll catch up with you later. And Bevel, I'm going to stick with my prediction in the preview, which was 2-1 Liverpool. Obviously, I hope I am incorrect. But Neil, the Liverpool fan, gave me a little bit of hope, but not enough to sort of predict West Ham to win. I still think we'll lose, but I'm looking forward to it. And just for clarity, I would like David Moyes to leave at the end of the season. I'm just...
I like the way you waited until Gonzo was gone to be able to say this.
Yeah, to be fair, he knows I would like more. He's just winding me up and he's having a little bit of fun. And most people get it, but there's probably a small percentage of people that generally don't get it and think that I don't want Moyes to remain. There's a few managers that I don't think are good enough for West Ham. We're a good club in a good position going into this summer, regardless of European football next season or not. We're in a good position with a good starting 11 at the squad, and I just want us to be ambitious. Lopetegui is a manager that we could go get when we sacked Pellegrini, somebody to come in to keep us up. He took over Wolves 20th in Premier League for a reason. That is his level. I think good manager, safe pair of hands. Don't want that. I want excitement. I want somebody that's going to bring better football, winning football, and can hopefully improve things at West Ham. And half the managers we're being linked to, I'm just far from convinced that they are that manager. But there's a few out there that, yeah, I'm quite hopeful we can pinch one of them. I think it'll be Fonseca, though. I do think Fonseca will be the next West Ham manager. So,
I've got that feeling as well, to be fair.
I feel like it's a compromise. I think it ticks the boxes. Not all of Steiden's boxes, but some of them. I think it ticks a lot of David Sullivan's ones. Free, unemployed. The only thing it doesn't tick is Premier League experience, but I think he might concede that in order to get the rest of his list, which is the freebie, and also his agent or an agent involved regarding Francesca is close to David Sullivan as well.
When they met previously, do you remember this? When they met previously, what happened there?
He met Sullivan in his mansion, and the next day he signed a contract extension with Shakhtar.
That's the only thing that's playing on the back of my mind.
I remember it well because when that happened, I'd never heard of him. So now when people say, well, you've never heard of Francesca till this week, I think, well, actually, like 4 years ago, we literally interviewed him. So it's impossible to not have heard of him as a West Ham fan.
West Ham interviewed him for the managerial position. Hammers Chat did not interview him on the channel.
Yeah, so
we were the ones who were outside the Sullivan's house with the long lens cameras taking a picture of him through the car.
Listen, either two things happened. Either one, he wanted a new deal with Shakhtar and used Sullivan a bit like Amarim tried to use us for Liverpool in order to get that or two, he turned up, got scared, and ran back and signed a new deal with Shakhtar. It's one of the two. So
that's the only thing that plays in my mind is what happened there. Yeah. And whether or not that still plays on his mind, he's like, I wouldn't go to that club.
Yeah,
but apart from that, I agree with you.
Anyway, right, I'm going to disappear, but I'll catch you up at halftime, Bevel.
I shall see you then, Geo. Thank you very much. And thank you everyone for joining. I hope you're all well. It's an early one. We're not used to doing these early ones on Saturdays very much recently. It's all been that Europa League and all that nonsense. Whereas instead now, just Premier League, and that's it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible, how confident are you of a West Ham result today? A result can be whatever you think. If you think a draw is a result for us, then that's what you're thinking about. If you think a win is the only thing that's a result for us, with Europe and everything else, that's what you think. Whatever you're vibing, let me know on a scale of 1 to 10. But good to see you all. Cyberpunk, good to see you. Dean, good to see you. I hope you're well. Nicholas, good to see you back. Hope you're well, sir. Hope you're all good. Listen, right, game changer for Charlie Walsh. I've been falling asleep at like 11 p.m. and waking up at like 7. So in your face. It does mean I'm missing all of the wrestling, but what can we do? What can we do? And while you go through those 1 to 10, let's have a little deeper look at the side today, shall we? Just in case you missed it, West Ham lineup as such. Areola starts in goal with Sufal, Zuma, Ogbonna and Emerson in defence. Alvarez, Souček in midfield with Paquetá, Kudus, Bowen and Mikhail Antonio. Outside of arguably one player, probably that's our strongest 11. The one player being, unfortunately for him, Angelo Ogbonna, the Dome. We went into it a lot on Hammerletics over on the Patreon. This week, myself and Jack speaking a lot about Ogbonna in terms of recent performances and then also his time at West Ham. Which sucks a little bit for him to have such a collapse, but he has. Outside of that, you would obviously put Mavropanos in, and whether you put Agerd or Zuma, I guess I would probably put Agerd, but at the same time, I don't exactly trust Agerd as far as I can throw him, which incidentally is very far and quite strong. But you know what I mean? Like, it's difficult. Outside of that, maybe you'd have an argument for Johnson over Sufal. Maybe you'd have an argument for James Ward-Prowse over Souček. I mean, James Ward-Prowse, I tell you what, it's a bit hard done by because he's had some brilliant performances. And for him to drop to the bench is genuinely kind of a shame because he's had some brilliant performances recently when a lot of the team have sort of crumbled a bit. That guy's just been non-stop going. And I think he deserves credit for it because that's not something we've maybe seen the rest of the season. I would start Souček over him every time in that position. But I mean, defense, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. We could play Casey there. That's what I probably would have done if I was in charge. I probably would have started Casey as much as that's a stress, playing Casey and Zuma. And again, I don't exactly trust Zuma, and to put a young player in next to someone who I don't trust is kind of crazy, but it's probably what I would have done. You could have gone with the 3 at the back system we went for in the second half with Cresswell and Johnson, but I don't necessarily think that's... I don't think that's probably the right thing to do against Liverpool. I don't know. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation with the defence. And unfortunately, we are damned. We are damned. The bench is in some sort of order down there. But positionally, it's Fabianski, Johnson and Cresswell, Casey, Phillips, Ward-Prowse, Cornet, Ings and Mubama. It is what it is. It is what it is. Liverpool line up as such. Alisson starts in goal. Again, theirs is in numerical order, but positionally, Alisson starts in goal with Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, Konsa, and Robertson in defence. Endo, Gravenberch, and McAllister will be in midfield with Elliott and Diaz either side of Cody Gakpo, one would suspect. It's a strong team without being their strongest team. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at their bench. Their bench is Kelleher, Gomez, Kanate, Tsimikas, Jones, Szoboszlai, Batic, Salah, and Nunez. There's a lot of players there who you would start if you were putting Liverpool's strongest 11 on paper down. You would start Salah. You would probably start Nunez, for example, things like that. But at the same time, it's not like the players they have in those positions are bad. Diaz, Elliott, and Gakpo are good players. You know. 1 second. Bless me. Those they are good players. They are good players. They've got a strong defense. They've got a strong midfield. If not rotated again, Enzo, Gravenberch, McAllister. None of those are bad players. McAllister starts for them regardless. You know, it's one of those things where although it's not their strongest team, it's certainly still a strong team, and it does scare me a little bit because I look at it and I don't see a gaping hole like I do with ours. You know, when we go back to our team and we look at that centre-back partnership, I see quite the big gaping hole. And I think that's probably why Souček gets in. If you're going to play these four, you have to drop one of Souček and Ward-Prowse. I think that's why you play Souček as opposed to James Ward-Prowse, because defensively, it's those two are night and day. Souček is so significantly better than James Ward-Prowse. It's funny. So in that sense, you're probably going to sit deep. You get Alvarez and Souček as close to those centre backs as possible, really trying to stop any sort of entrance into that area, because that's what they're going to do. You're going to want to see Elliott and Diaz especially on the ball, running at the defence, trying to penetrate from the wide areas. And it's going to be a scary moment, but it's get-atable. It is 100% get-atable. This is not, as Geo said, prime Liverpool of old. This is a different Liverpool side. It's one sort of semi-in transition and rotated as well on top of that. Is it Dontaku today? That's something I need to look up. But yeah, so that's where we're at. Their bench, Kelleher, Gomez, Kanate, Szoboszlai, Nunez, Salah, Jones, Tsimikas, and Batic, just in case I didn't say. Those are the lineups today. Let's see how that affects your confidence levels. We did ask, actually, we didn't get to the poll, but we did ask how you felt about the starting 11. We had 4 options on display. I love it. I like it. I dislike it. I hate it. Nice and simple stuff. It's a bit like last week. It's a bit like the last game. I hate it. It's 6%. Of the over 800 people who voted, 10% of them said they loved it. 30% said I dislike it, and 52% said I like it. Which is, yeah, probably where we're at. Probably where we're at. At the end of it, realistically, what else are you gonna do? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not really the options there at any point. You know. You struggle. At any point, you struggle. So it is what it is, realistically. But let's see how you feel. I would probably put myself at a... I don't know. Barry's gone with a 0. 3, 1, 0, 3, 2, 7. 7 says M. Collingwood. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus... 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. 12 out of 10. Big from me. Big. Panda comes with a 4. Michael 5. A massive 1, says Andy. Leo with a 3. Alan with a 2. 1. 5 is the scoreline. 50 pence is saying. We'll get onto the score predictions in a couple of minutes' time. Nicholas has gone with a 4. A win would be a 3. Draw 7. Hobie's Nuts is saying 3. 2. Minus 10. 4. 3. 2, 10, a solid 4.2, 2, 1, 3, and hello from El Paso, Texas. Good to see you. The home of Eddie Guerrero, of course. Was Eddie, or was it Rey Mysterio who's billed as El Paso, Texas? I can't remember now. Paralegends 2 says Iggy goes pop. Rick's gone with a 0. MLJ, good to see you, sir. How are you? If he's ever performing in your area, you need to go and hear the sultry tones of MLJ. How are you, sir? 3, Chris, good to see you. 8, 3.14. What else got? A solid 2. Do you know what? Low confidence levels, which is probably where I'm at as well, minus 10 million, says Sean. I'm probably there as well. I know, Nick. This is what I mean. I'm so far behind. Haven't seen anything this week, so I need to, after this, on Discovery Plus, get SmackDown on, start to consume, because I've missed it all. I had a lovely 3 hours last night, as per Dean. You love to see it. It's all you need. It's all you need. I would probably be low as well. Obviously, Lego Batman on Xbox 360. Banger. Would it be that low? I don't know if it would probably be as low as everyone else. It would probably be. It certainly wouldn't be an 8.35. I tell you what. I'm here for it though, Jamie. The confidence levels I'm here for, and I'm backing the beef internally in the group. I'm backing your beef internally in the group. Don't listen to my score prediction later. Right now, I'm backing the beef internally in the group. I would probably put myself as like a 3 or something like that, maybe. I don't know. But what about Sub Bingo? Sub Bingo is the game where we predict when David Moyes will make his first substitute. You don't have to say it, although I have the bench rolling across the bottom of your screen now. I'm going to say 69 as per. You know how these things go. You've got to commit to the bit, and I have done for 4 years at this stage, and I shan't not be committing to the bit. And I'm going to go with... It's a difficult one today. I would probably say Johnson for Sufal. Johnson for Sufal is probably what I'm going to go with. Trini says our team picks itself because of the lack of squad depth. Yeah, with the injuries, the sort of the lack of squad depth we have in general as a part of that as well. It is what it is. There's not really much we can do about it, unfortunately. It's where a question like how do you feel confidence wise always makes it difficult. Eddie is El Paso. Thank you, Nicholas. I knew one of them was. I just couldn't remember which one, and I'm pretty sure it was Eddie. I'm seeing Eddie Guerrero coming out in the Low Rider SmackDown like 2002 era, sort of ish. Was that 2003 probably? Putting up another poll while we're here. What will the result be? I enjoyed that one, so we're gonna do it again. We're gonna lob it once more in there. And when we did see will West Ham score, they scored instantly. So maybe, I mean, ignoring the fact that we did this from the start and it went horrendously wrong, maybe it'll work this time. Who knows? It's not like us to have weird. What's the word I'm looking for? Weird theories. What is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Superstitions. There we go. I found it. The game is, of course, today on TNT Sports. Don't remember which one, but it's on one of the TNT Sport channels in the United Kingdom. I am watching it properly. I am in London watching it on Discovery Plus, but that does mean I'll be slightly further behind you because it's always delayed like that. But I do have a timer in the top right-hand corner, which will tell you exactly how far behind you I will be. Hopefully not too far. Although God knows, we'll have to wait and see on that one. That's a spam a lot. Good to see you. I'm doing all right. I've got a bit of a runny nose. Some of my knuckles are cracked from washing my hands too much because I've been doing a lot of house stuff. So I've got my knuckles were bleeding. Last night I at one point was lying on the floor in the middle of the Tate Modern. Don't ask questions. It's just the way my life goes sometimes. Got up and my knuckle was bleeding, so that was bad. But apart from that, I'm all good. Let's move. Let's go down to sub bingos, shall we? 69 as always. It's just got to be done. Jasper B, it's 45 minutes. Ogbonna off for Cresswell. If Cresswell was to come on, I wouldn't be surprised to see Johnson come on at the same time and us move to a sort of basically do the exact same sub we did against Palace, where you bring on Johnson as well and then take off probably Souček, you would imagine, or one of the front 4 if that's not really working out. But for some reason, I just don't think it's going to happen today, and I'm not sure why. It's just something in the back of my mind that says it's just not gonna happen. Mick's gone with 65 minutes. Zoomer frame. Now I understand it. I kept seeing the Zoomer frame thing, and I realized that it was Gonzo doing the chat, the phrase that pays, but I couldn't figure out what the joke was for ages, and I've just figured it out. As Mark said it there, my brain's just kicked into gear, and all of a sudden, I recognise what it means. Thank you. VR disallows 5 goals. Listen, we joke, but at the same time. Johnson or Sufal, Sock or Cornet. Cornet's been seemingly getting a little bit more love recently. So maybe, just maybe, we see a Cornet masterclass. He just turns up out of nowhere. Who knows? Who knows? Oggy and Zuma off by 60 minutes with injuries is disgracefully accurate, Christopher. Disgracefully accurate. Michael, unfortunately, James Ward-Prowse or Calvin Phillips aren't starting, so I don't know which way round, but I love the vibe. I love the vibe. OP, for example, saying 115 minutes for Phillips. That's, again, yes. Basically, yes. It's the way it goes, V1. It's the way it goes. It's the way it goes. Ronnie, do you know who I am? Ronnie Pickering. Who? Ronnie Pickering. Who's that? Yeah, me. It's my favourite bit. I love it so much. I love it so much. Where else are we at? It's TNT Sports 1. Thank you very much, Trini. There you go. And if you are looking for a way to watch the game, if you don't have access to that, maybe you're elsewhere in the world, don't have access to that, there are definitely ways you can do it. If you scroll down into the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Fans of all clubs are welcome, but more importantly, if you scroll down on the left-hand side, there's a bit there called Stream Links, in which you'll find what you're looking for. James Ward-Prowse for Alvarez, says John, 74th minute. Didn't Johnson used to play centre-back? I don't know, Keith. I've never known. I always thought he had sort of the stature for it, but he's not that tall. But me and Ray used to talk about it. Ray was the one who mentioned it first to me when we were doing Two Spanners, One Hammer on the Patreon, on patreon.com/Hammers Chat, and of course, Hammer the Point on American Hammers TV. We spoke about it quite a bit. I think there's something there, but I don't know. He can sort of just do everything, can't he, if we're being honest about it. 21st minute, Fabs for Areola. Stress. 70th minute, Moyes for Noble. It would be bold, Mick. It would be bold. Where else are we at? It's about time to give Casey a chance. See, this is kind of where Rick O'Shea, the Irish sensation himself. Do you know what? Part of me is the same. Part of me is the same. I feel like I really like Casey. Every time I've seen Casey play, I've been really impressed by him. I think that he has. I think that he really does have what it takes to get there, and I'm really excited to see what happens. I think he needs a loan next season to really sort of see how he can blossom out into it. But today would have been a day, as much as it's a massive risk, like I say, against Liverpool, which is scary. Even if though they are rotated, it's still scary. And as much as it's a risk putting him next to a centre-back partner who is less than reliable in Kurt Zouma right now, I would have taken the rest today. I would have lobbed Casey in there. I think what's the point in doing it if we can't? And you've got two centre-backs who are horrendously out of form and look like they're really struggling and they're about to go up against a very strong team. Why not put him in there? I mean, listen, it's a risk, and part of me thinks you just sort of have to trust the managers when it comes to youth stuff, but Moyes literally will never play him, so at that point you just can't. With other managers, maybe I'd say something different, but with him you just can't trust what the youth setup is going for. So I personally would have lobbed him in there. Listen, I'm not necessarily against it. If you want to do a cheeky ham and a point on patreon.com/Hammers Chat, message me, we'll figure it out. I'm down. I'm down. You know what I mean? Once the summer comes, we're gonna have a bit more time. The teams are coming out at this point, which is when I will ask you for your final score predictions. No more flipping, no more flopping, no more sitting on the fence. We've spoken about both teams. We've spoken about the subs lineups. We've spoken about tactics. We've spoken about rights about it, wrongs about it. We've spoken about it all. Now's the time to hit that final belt. Let's nail it to the floor. Let's lock them in. You know what I mean? Ben says good luck today, West Ham. Thank you, Ben. I don't know if Brentford are playing. I'm not going to lie. I'm completely off kilter today with what's going on. But good luck to you as well, sir. Give the Discord maybe 5 minutes, give or take. It will get there. And sometimes they just don't change the top of the names, but the links have changed. Give it time, and then make sure to thank Ben Athers in there, as well as Ginge, people who do it, because they do good work. Deckers, good to see you, sir. How are you? Yeah, there has been Rick saying Liverpool drop Salah. There have been significant rotation for them. I'll put the both starting lineups once again across the bottom of the screen, and you can see down there have been some big rotations. For Liverpool. And while you get those score predictions in, I'll remind you once more that this stream is sponsored by Match Bingo. It combines bingo with football. It's a betting app, so make sure to be 18 plus if you want to get involved, because there is money, but it's £2 per card as opposed to just betting endless amounts of money on whatever you want to do. And you get a card like this, which has different things that can happen throughout the game. So for example, one of mine is West Ham to make the first substitute. If that happens, it gets crossed off. And then you get 1 line, 2 lines, or the full house, and you win money depending on it. It's £2 to buy a card. You can, for 1 line, you win 25. For 2 lines, you win £50. For the full house, you win £500, and there is a bonus pot for 500 as well, just in case you get in there. I've been unbelievably close a whole amount of times. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating how close I've been. But Geo's won. Gonzo's won. Lots of other Hammers Chat subscribers have won. Almost every single time I look and someone's won. Apart from me. So that's the aim for the rest of the season, is to win at Match Bingo. But thank you very much for sponsoring us. The link is in the description below. Please use it if you are interested, because it helps out the channel, as does liking this video. Let's push us up those search rankings. Let's see if we can take on some of the big Liverpool channels who will undoubtedly be doing watch-alongs for this. Let's see if we can beat them for numbers. Let's get those likes in and see if we can push ourselves up the rankings. Let's look at some of these score predictions. Stephen is saying 3-0 to Liverpool, 3-0, 5-2, 3-1, 2-1, 4-1. 4-1 the other way, says Rick. 3-3 chaos, says M. Collingwood. Reese is gone with a solid 7-1. You love to see it. But Bevan is gone for 4-1 the opposite direction. 6-0, 5-0, 2-1. Good to see you, my liege. Jeff has gone with 4-1, 2-2, 2-2, 7-0, 3-14. You love to see it. You love to see it. 3-1, 4-1. It's 2-2. Audi's first one is what I would go for. I would say 2-1, but I wouldn't go with the 4-1 Audi's saying with their strikers on song. They're not in blistering. Like, I'm hoping that we find them out of sort of sync a little bit and the rotation plays to us. But I'm gonna say 2-1. But the teams are underway. Kickoff has happened. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 tings. The timer in the top corner should be basically accurate to where I am, and stay for it because I'm watching it on Discovery Plus, which means I won't have to be flicking around trying to fix the NIITS. And we get to see how we line up. I think it's going to be exactly how we think it is. Kudus on the left, Bone on the right. Yep. Paquetá down the centre. Yep. Yeah. So it's basically exactly how we think it will be. I suspect it will be a classic David Moyes tactical performance as well. Wired out wide to Robertson, who looks to try and cross the ball in, headed away from Kurt Zuma. Liverpool recollect the ball back out wide to the left-hand side. Gravenberch plays it into Diaz, who's find himself very central. That's the next one, is where Liverpool's players are going to end up lining up. Where's Elliott going to be? Gakpo and Diaz. I think it will just be... My gut says it will be the 3 that we would expect, but we'll see. They're passing it around at the moment, Liverpool. The horseshoe is fully in effect for them. Went down the left-hand side, didn't quite work. Now they're working their way up the right. Gakpo drops in deep to try and find it. Short to Endo. Just outside the area for Diaz. Back to Endo. They're sort of knocking on the door a little bit, Liverpool, but can't ever find the space or just that little bit of time to shoot. Every single time they've been just closed down a little bit sooner than they want, and then the ball gets played around again, once again. Big ball forward, looking for Mohamed Kudus, couldn't find it. And he gets played back to Alisson, who's going to want to play it as soon as possible back into that area. Yeah, he does. Back onto that halfway line, and we go once more into the transition of defence. It's going to be a long day for Mikel Antonio, I feel. He's currently just chasing it round. Paquetá with a nice interception. He's got Kudus alongside him. Probably tried to use him, but Endo is just on top of him and ends up passing it backwards. Alex, good to see you, sir. How are you? Hope you're well. Not bad, Jonathan. Can't complain too much. I'm feeling this. I think 2-1 is what I think to Liverpool. But realistically, it could be a situation where all we need is a little bit of luck. A little bit of luck to go our way and we'd be in a golden situation. But I do think it'll be 2. Got 2 bingo cards. Both have West Ham to make 5 subs. Yeah, you hate to see it. Ball played across. Gakpo hits it back across the 6-yard box. And thankfully, there's no one there. And it's fairly inaccurate. The ball floated across. It wasn't Gakpo. It was Gravenberch there who just wide on the left-hand side, tried to just sort of play it back across the 6-yard box, but no one, it was over the top of Diaz and there was no one else attacking it behind to really make it count. It's those middle ones. It's those middle ones you want to be looking at, right? They're the big game changers. They're the ones that are going to complete your rows. I have a West Ham caught offside, so the sooner Cornet gets on, the better. First time West Ham can really get on the ball here. Played in. Ooh, Mikel Antonio goes down in the area. Kudus picks up the ball just to the left of him. Dinks it back across. Headed away from Kwanzaa. It's going to be a corner. Going to be a corner. Quick breakaway. Jared Bowen playing it in towards the box where Mikel Antonio is. Who again just gone across to the referee just to make him aware of what's gone on there. Nothing untoward, but he just feels like he was perhaps fouled in this scenario. No James Ward-Prowse, of course, on the pitch. He's on the bench, which means Emerson is going to be the one to come across to take it from the left-hand side. It's going to be an outswinger. Kurt Zouma in there. Ogbonna in there. Souček in there. Played over the top. Hits the first man. And Diaz with a really nice control takes the ball away just before he can get caught up on. Plays it quickly to Elliott. Then to Trent, who's poor pass. He was looking for Gravenberch on the run through, but he completely mishits the pass. And Vladimir Coufal selling Thomas Souček somewhat short there, but thankfully we win a throw-in off it. I can imagine the stress, bro. I can imagine the stress. If it ever happens, let me know. Well, you don't need to let me know. I've got those notification bells on the Timers podcast on. So if it goes up, then I'm going to see it. But yeah, trust me, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate it. Played in centrally, McAllister finds Gravenberch. He's been heavily involved. Look for the little threaded through ball. Ogbonna cuts that one out and clears it. Bit of head tennis ensues. It lands at the feet of Paquetá, who sells Alvarez very short and tries to fight it back, but with a foul on McAllister on the way through. A little bit of lackadaisicalness there from Paquetá. Just unnecessarily sells Alvarez short, then loses out on the ball, and then just dives in trying to battle for it under a bit of pressure from Endo, to be fair, but trods on McAllister's foot. It's the sort of thing you've seen a yellow card for in the past, I'm not going to lie, but nothing there, just a free kick in a fairly advanced area for Liverpool. Yeah, I don't know how far it will be because, of course, I'm watching legally on Discovery Plus, but theirs is always it's like a minute behind usually, so I don't know exactly where I'll be at today, but we'll see. But it'll be consistent. That's the thing; it'll be consistent at least. Yeah, he doesn't, and I think he's got better. I've liked what I've seen the last couple of games from him, where he has been sort of gripped up in the early stages and sort of thrown around a little bit for him to turn around to the referee and go, "Watch that! Watch what's going on here." Because I agree, I don't think he ever really gets the benefit of the doubt. I compared it last time to Andy Carroll. I think there's some similarities to what used to happen with Andy Carroll a little bit. And I think just making the referee aware, Anthony Taylor is today's case, just making him aware of what's going on. So when that does inevitably keep on happening, there's a more of a temptation to get the yellow card out for centre-backs, maybe stop them from doing it as much to let him play a bit. Because the way to stop Mikel Antonio is to just get in there and just really wrestle with him. That seems to be the way, and Liverpool have done that pretty well over the years. Konate has been the one that's sort of always scary on the back of my mind. So I think that's a good thing for him to do. I'm really here for that. About 35, 40 yards away from goal, something like that. Trent Alexander-Arnold bends it towards the far post, and Van Dijk coming in at the back post, trying to get a foot onto it. Ends up going significantly over under minor pressure from Zouma. It's an interesting free kick idea, I can't lie. Zouma, yeah, Ali McCoy is saying exactly what I was about to say. Maybe a little bit lucky. He just gets, to be honest with you, Van Dijk just walked past him a little bit too quickly, but still. And pinged forward. Not as far as I was aware. I think it was just a McAllister getting treatment. It's not. It wouldn't have shocked me if he got a yellow card, even though it was early in the game, to be honest. But it wouldn't have shocked me. DDCH, good to see you, sir. How are you? Hope you're well. How's Danny feeling? That's a good question. Danny, how are you feeling about the game today, sir? He says good, but he's scared. His exact words were shooketh to his core. But he feels good. And that could only be. Could have been a red. I think it could have been a yellow. I would have been surprised if it would have been a red, but could have been a yellow, certainly. There was definitely a stamp. He was under pressure. He was being pushed. So it wasn't entirely his fault, but it wouldn't have surprised me. Liverpool passing it around at the back here. Paquetá doing a sort of slightly more lethargic version of the James Ward-Prowse press. They've not really had any options to pass it around. You get Trent, who splits the centre backs, comes in, a big ping forward there, does well, finds Luis Diaz with the control. He was looking maybe towards Alex Robertson. Andy, where did Alex come from? McAllister taken down there by Edson Alvarez, who feels like it wasn't a free kick. It probably was, but it wasn't that deep. Mark, how do I stream this online from America? Well, my friend, there are definitely ways you can do it. If you scroll down into the description below, there's a bit there called join our Discord. Lovely Hammers chat, West Ham community, good place to chat with people. But more importantly, in there on the left-hand side, there's a bit called stream links in which you will find what you're looking for. And a big shout out, I don't know if Mulch is still here, but a massive shout out to Mulch who made that graphic, by the way, all those years ago. Oh, Diaz does well to turn. I'll tell you what, Kurt Zuma, a little bit lucky again there. He's pulled down Luis Diaz, and I think Diaz maybe goes down. He feels it and goes down, but turned so easily, Kurt Zuma. Instead, slightly further forward in that sort of area where, the ball went through his legs in the Crystal Palace one for the second Mateta goal, I think it was. Yeah, not super keen. Not super keen. Commentators talking about the lack of atmosphere. It certainly doesn't sound bouncing like it has done recently. Gakpo with a little 1-2, trying to find his way in. He's dropped really deep and wide. Again, we're going to see that front line maybe rotate some of the time. Robertson in a good advanced position, plays it across. And hit! Side netting. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Far post, it comes across. Gakpo can't get his head onto it after starting it and then sprinting into the centre. The cross from Andy Robertson was decent, into a good position, but he can't get any real purchase on it. But at the far side, Harvey Elliott sprints onto it and absolutely hits a stinger towards Areola. But thankfully, it smacks onto the side netting. Emerson was there. They probably both would have covered it, but scary. Kudus, not really had the opportunity to really get on the ball today yet. Claims a handball, doesn't get one and loses out on the ball instantaneously, and Liverpool can once again come on a counter-attack. Those counter-attacks are going to be really vital for us today, and so far we've only had one playoff good interception there from Jarrod Bowen and Thomas Souček, and he skips past one. Beautifully done by Jarrod Bowen. He's got Mikel Antonio just ahead of him. He's got Kudus to his left. He plays it to Kudus maybe slightly too late. Yeah, Kudus at least wins a corner. We'll take that. We'll take that. At least looks like we win the corner, but those counter-attacks are going to be important. And so far, Jarrod Bowen's been the one pulling those strings. Collects the ball off a nice interception, nutmegs McAllister on the way through, charges forward, maybe could have pulled the trigger on a couple of passes before. There was maybe a brief moment where Mikel Antonio was an option, a brief moment where Kudus was open slightly better before he ended up doing it slightly too late. But we get another corner off the back of it. Emerson's the one to take it again from that left-hand side, out swinging. Zuma gets his head onto. Zuma got his head onto it, and I thought it was almost going to drop perfectly for Ogbonna to finish that. Jarrod Bowen gets in there again. He's doing well today, Jarrod Bowen. He's having a good game so far. I'm not certain. Paquetá slightly better than usual, but again, still that little bit of lackadaisicalness that he needs to get out of his game. Kudus is having a what I would class a typical Kudus game. Not really quite there yet, but Jarrod Bowen doing solid work. Yeah, I mean, it's good news for us, Audi, in that sense. Let's be real about it. Very good news for us. Ogbonna on the ball. Big ball forward, looking for Paquetá. He was battling for it. Forces Robertson to clear it in an awkward fashion. But Kudus manages to sort of intercept it without touching the ball, and Emerson collects it. Back out wide to Kudus, wide on the left-hand side, takes on his man, beats him, looks to cross it in towards the box, and Souček was in there, as was Antonio. It just happened to land just in between the two of them. Good work from Lucas Paquetá to force that one back to Mohamed Kudus. tries to take on McAllister and Trent Alexander-Arnold, loses out on that one, and Liverpool maybe with an opposition. This is one of the other one of the scary things about Liverpool. How fast are they going to be able to counter-attack today? That's one of the big things we're going to need to cut out. Thomas Souček, nice interception off a poor pass. Jarrod Bowen hits it. Alisson matches it. I tell you what, Jarrod Bowen, he's on it today. He's on it today. He certainly has had his weaker bits. He's certainly feeling, you know. That sort of, we're going to have to be sort of careful of those counter-attacks. But I tell you what, some of those high turnovers nicely worked from Paquetá from the front line. And Jarrod Bowen is looking dangerous. And Kudus, again, working hard for it. Not necessarily when he's on the ball making banging decisions. I mean, he's won 2 corners. So in that sense, actually, he's doing all right. Some of the ones in deeper that have been a bit concerning to me. But realistically, something there. Something there. And we've created chances just like Liverpool have. Big boot over the top, and somehow Diaz is onside here. Diaz 1v1 blasts it way over. The flag ends up going up late, as is the rules now for some reason. But the big ball over the top, and Diaz picks it up relatively. Yeah, he's significantly offside. Starts this run from inside the centre circle. Essentially, we're talking about in line with it at least. So somehow when he was onside, I didn't really understand. But again, offside, blast over the top from him at the end of it, 1v1. Should have done better from that, but it would have been offside regardless. There are more than just a podcast banner up. Mad. He's feeling spicy. And I'm here, I'm here for it. He picks up the ball again there off a Thomas Souček header. Takes on Endo, beats him. Tries to put it in on his weak foot. Robertson gets the block. It's going to be a frame. Yeah, he was significantly far off there. He was significantly different time zone. Different time zone. Right, Soufal with the long throw from the corner quadrant, lost it in. Zuma gets a head on towards it. Thomas Souček nods it on, and Kudus almost manages to nip him round the back, but Alisson collects. Hits a low trajectory clearance, but Vladimir Soufal is very happy to collect that one. It's a wasted opportunity from Liverpool there. Paquetá, poor pass back to Ogbonna, but he collects it anyway. Maybe puts us a little bit more under pressure than we'd like, but we play away with the ball fairly nicely. And then Paquetá with a nice cross-field ball. Bit slow, but nicely into the feet of Jarrod Bowen. And now we get the opportunity to attack. Nice spell we've got going on here. After the initial pressure from Liverpool, without them really be able to create too much from it, defending well, reducing their opportunities, we're getting a nice spell here. But we need to sort of make it count, put them under a bit of pressure, and not get too lackadaisical. It feels like at times our players are always just one dodgy pass away from doing something a bit weird like they just did there with Vladimir Soufal losing out on it. And I feel like we can do this. It feels like Liverpool are susceptible. It feels like they're susceptible. There's something there. McAllister looking to dribble past 3 separate players. Ogbonna says no. Ball gets played out quickly to Gravenberch. Nice first time ball in. The idea was good. Opens up his body, left foot back across the goal from the left-hand side. Gakpo was arriving. Manages to stay on side as well, but just couldn't. Too far ahead of Gakpo. Really didn't have the option. That's where he was going to land anyway. Straight into the hands of Areola, who takes his time with it. Still on the ball. Yeah, I think that's a big. I think that's probably a big. That's probably a big part of it. And I do genuinely think he's having a good game today. I think, regardless of that, I think he's looking lively. If something's going to happen, it feels like it's going to come through him right now. Diaz wide on the left hand side, gets into the box, takes on Soufal, beats him, and Zuma manages to get the block. It's going to be a corner for Liverpool. Corner for Liverpool on our right hand side. Andy Robertson, or Alex as I called him for some reason. Comes across to take the corner. It's going to be an outswinger from our right-hand side. Van Dijk coming forward alongside Kwanzaa. Cody Gakpo's in there as well. Van Dijk's so big, isn't he? He's just such a big man. Robertson whips it in. Headed away from Edson Alvarez. Volley from McAllister. Can't find anything. And then it's hoofed away from Mikel Antonio. I'll tell you what. Kudus is charging down on I don't know who that was. I think it was Gravenberch. He plays it back to Alisson, almost manages to nip in there, and he doesn't stop. Now he stops running. Kudus, there was a moment there where he didn't stop running. Nice ball over the top from Trent. Easily cut out though from Angelo Ogbonna. Yeah, it's scary. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary. Soufal not confident. Soufal Diaz cooked Soufal. Diaz versus Soufal mismatch. Soufal being put under pressure by Diaz. It's going to be a scary day down there. It's going to be a scary day down there. Did he say that? I missed he said that, Trini. Stadium so quiet, pundits can say they can hear the players. Certainly doesn't feel... Don't know, there's a chant coming through now, but it doesn't feel... like I say, I think there's two separate mindsets at the moment. There is... Good to see Simon. There is the fan mindset of which is just like, season's over, whatever. We're just going to get through to the end of the season, and then we start sort of the rebuild, new manager, new players. We start to figure it out from there. And then there's the club mindset, which is they're still in chance for getting Europe here, and they need to fight. And you can feel that in the stadium. Ooh, Gravenberch almost managed to have an opportunity there. Finds it short to Gakpo, who spins round Kudus. It's a foul in a very, very, very good area. Perhaps even too close. Perhaps even too close for Liverpool. But a very good position for them regardless. Gravenberch finds Gakpo, who gets caught. I mean, it feels like not going to lie, it feels like he could have stayed up from the slow-mo replay there. But, you know, it is what it is. And it's going to be a free kick in a dangerous area. Trent over the top of it, you would suspect. Robertson's also standing there. Let's see how close it is. Most free kick goals in Liverpool history. Trent is only 2 off Jamie Redknapp from with the record. Jamie Redknapp 8, Steven Gerrard 7, Trent on 6. Andy Robertson and Trent are standing over it, having a conversation. Well, Robertson was saying some stuff to Trent. There was no reaction whatsoever from Trent. We've got the draft excluder and Vladimir Soufal. We've got a big... I tell you what, our wall's quite big apart from Mikel Antonio. Zuma, Souček. Paquetá's quite big as well, wasn't he? I didn't realise how tall he was. Trent takes it up. Doesn't get it. Doesn't get it back down again. Over. Like I say, I think it's a scenario. It is notably very, very quiet in the stadium right now. And I do think there is a sort of separation between what the club think and what the fans think. Fans think the season's over. The club can still think it's that. Whoa, Mikel Antonio gets the ball, takes it round. It's going to be play on. Oh, ball through from Jarrod Bowen was good. Quansah ends up going 50-50 with Paquetá. I don't think it was a foul. He defends well. It's probably going to get pulled back at some point. The ball gets played over the top. Gakpo does brilliantly, and I tell you what, Emerson does really well to hook that one away. Cody Gakpo almost with an exquisite piece of skill. The loudest I've seen the crowd all game. They're booing the referee after allowing play on. It gets whipped back in towards the box. Diaz can't get his head onto the end of it. Bounces around, a bit of head tennis. All the way into the corner flag. Diaz is looking to win a corner here. He's just going to hold it on. And Vladimir Soufal nips that one away well. Nips that one away very well. And then a bit of afters with him. You'll have to see it. That's the vibe we want. That's the vibe we want. Yeah, Quansah does well on the 50-50 with Paquetá. There's no foul on that one, despite him being through. There's no foul on that one. It's the one before... I think it was Virgil van Dijk on Mikel Antonio. Well, this is good. This is a great opportunity. Kudus looking around him. Kudus! Mikel Antonio was in a really good position, and you could see him looking around. He had time. He had space. He should have released it earlier, and then he eventually does release it, and it's a crap pass, and Liverpool can come back again. I'm like, man, we had it. Those moments are going to be so precious for us today. Gravenberch charging forward, looks to try and play in around the back of Soufal. Takes it past Souček a bit easily. Nice interception there from Alvarez. We want a free kick at the end of it. Yeah, that would be my assessment of Jeff. That would be my assessment. 100%. Looking at Van Dijk on Antonio again there. It's probably, I think that's probably a yellow card for Van Dijk, to be honest, but there we go. Didn't happen. Areola into pass for Emerson. The pressure from Liverpool straight away. Playing it around at the back dangerously, and Areola's clearance is poor. That long kicking, once again. Ogbonna in an insane position, manages to get the ball away. I don't know where the hell he was, why he was there, but still, big boot forward. Mikel Antonio battling with Quansah for it, and we're going to throw in. Let's take it a bit quicker. No? Okay, we're just gonna take as long as humanly possible to take this one. Would have liked it to be faster than that, but still. So he never looks comfortable, Artel. It's incredible. Even when he's fit, even when he was at his peak at West Ham and fit, he moved in an uncomfortable way. You know? We take about 5 minutes to take the throw in. What happens? We've been a throw in the exact same position we just took it from. Good. Glad we wasted our time. We put Fab's legs on Antonio, we'd have top goalkeeper. Honestly, Dean, it's my dream. It's my dream. Fabianski's long kicking, Areola's basically everything else. Maybe a bit of the community. Maybe give him Fabianski's mouth as well. Oh, we'd be cooking. We'd be cooking. Whipped across, headed away from Quansah. Going to be a throw in once again. This time we've managed to rugby our way up to the corner quadrant, left hand side. Mikel Antonio is going to be the one to do the long throw this time. Ogbonna, Souček in there. Long throw is awful, if we're being honest. It's nowhere near accurate. Kudus manages to almost get a control. It's going to be a goal kick. What a waste. What a waste. Tell you what, I'm just looking at the bottom of the screen, TNT, who obviously, Discovery Plus, TNT obviously have all the European games. And I'm looking at that. I'm looking at Roma, Bayer Leverkusen. I'm thinking, one, I was so close to seeing Roma versus West Ham in a competitive fixture, which is all I've ever wanted. But two, I'm like, it is quite nice not having to play Sunday, innit? Do you know what I mean? As much as I want to play Thursday, it's quite nice not having to play Thursday. Ball in, Lies Diaz, round back, oh, in the control, all gone down in the area, under pressure from Ogbonna, no foul, that's down, there's a handball, and there is a penalty. It's offside, oh my god, he's offside. Oh, beautiful stuff, absolutely beautiful. I was terrified, that was a penalty. Ball gets played, nice little layoff there. Play in, yeah, Luis Diaz is offside in the initial pass. Luis Diaz is offside in the initial pass behind him. I thought he could have had a shot there. He doesn't. He pulls it back across for, I think it's Gakpo, who goes down insanely under a challenge from Angelo Ogbonna. I mean, literally diving for a penalty, but it probably would have been a foul, but it was a dive. And then Luis Diaz hits it, and Ogbonna's hand, his hand is literally up here. It's in about the most, he's in the most unnatural of unnatural positions, Ogbonna. Smacks off it. So it could have been a foul, could have been a handball, and thankfully, he's offside. We're going to get a VAR check on the offside, but he was offside. I'm looking at it now. He's well, this check will be quick because I can see from here he's offside. It's not a difficult one. You're going to have to be thorough in those scenarios because there could have been two separate penalty calls after that for the foul on Gakpo, which I'm not going to say it wasn't a foul. There was maybe a leg in there, but dude was looking for it like someone had just stole his car. And then there was the handball, which was Ogbonna, yeah, exactly. A foul and handball in 2 seconds from Oggy. You're not keen on it. You're not keen on it. I'll say that much. It wasn't a glorious 5 seconds for Angelo Ogbonna. Surprised it's taking as long as it is, but there we go. It is what it is. I get it, they have to be thorough, but it is a bit insane that it took that long, if we're being honest. Yeah, offside, confirmed. There we go. Right, we go again. We go again. A poor 5 seconds from Angelo Ogbonna. Hopefully, he's got it out of his system now, and we don't have to worry about that again, because that was bad. That was very, very bad. I don't know. I don't know, OG. I have no idea. I think the commentator said that Anthony Taylor was told that, quote, "we'll draw the lines for context." But it was so obviously offside. I don't know if there was any point to that. But, you know, we move. We move. Ogbonna, again, picking up the ball and striding out with it. Ball gets played in. Jared Bowen looks to try and nip in ahead of Robertson. Can't. Gakpo with a header onwards. Alexander-Arnold on the far side hits it, thankfully, straight at Areola, who punches it instead of catching it. And once again, Liverpool have possession of the ball. Bit of pressure, needlessly, potentially. Looking towards Harvey Elliott at the back post there. Robertson can't find it. Trent back in again. Zuma's header is poor. I say what, Gakpo was loading up for an Ove kick there. Doesn't quite work. Ogbonna tried to volley it clear. And Kudus does really well to turn. That's a yellow card, bruv. Endo's all over him. That's such easy yellow card. Yeah, he gets a booking for it. Kudus chests it down, spins Endo beautifully, and then Endo just grabs him, says, "You ain't going nowhere." It's an easy yellow card. It's an easy yellow card. Kudus was brilliantly there, by the way. And without Endo being all over him, he would have been away. Surprised Areola. We're just looking at the Trent shot again. Surprised Areola doesn't catch that, but still. So foul under pressure from Gravenberch there. Free kick on basically the halfway line. Kudus picks up the ball wide on the left-hand side in the corner quadrant. 1v1 versus Quansah. Decides to go back with it. Passes it back to Alvarez. Looks to try and put it into the box. It's a great opportunity. Headed down. Why did he header it down? Oh, no. It was so good. Super shot. Oh. It was so close. It was so close. I don't know why he didn't shoot. I don't know why he didn't shoot. We just overplayed it, Paquetá. There was a moment there where he could have gone. I don't know. Maybe I'm overplaying it. I'd have to look at the replay. He heads it back down, and I feel like he could have controlled it in turn and just smashed it in, and he doesn't. And it was so close. Bowen couldn't quite get the space to take the shot. Then drops out to Vladimir Sufal just outside the area, who hits it, and it's Alisson matches it. 4 shots, 3 on target from us so far today. Liverpool have had 6 shots, only 1 on target, which shows us trying to just sort of cut those out. Making sense, getting a lot of blocks in today. Just shots are coming in from angles which aren't particularly scary right now. Played out wide, Gravenberch on the ball. Looking to try and play his way in. Plays it out wide to Diaz on the left-hand side. 1v1 versus Sufal. Does well in that instance, Sufal, and the ball ends up getting crossed in, and Ogbonna can header it away relatively easily. Audi, try not to pull the trigger too soon on the goal shouts. On the goal shouts. Unless you're that far ahead of me, to be fair, which could be the case. Yeah, Sutek's touched the ball a bunch of times, Christopher. He's got a couple of interceptions, defensive work. The commentators are saying exactly what I was just thinking as well. Liverpool obviously have had more possession. I don't know what possession stats are at right now. I haven't got SofaScore up, so I should have done that. But Liverpool have certainly had more possession of the ball, but I feel like we've definitely been the more dangerous. If I'm being honest about it, I think we've definitely been more dangerous. We're close on a couple of lines, but none as of yet. We're close. No winners yet on Match Bingo. We're close. Diaz plays it back to Endo. Trent. They're just passing it around here, Liverpool, trying to find a way in. McAllister finds it out wide to Harvey Elliott, who hits it directly at Areola. Second shot of the game on target for Liverpool. Both times straight at Areola. I'm close on a couple of lines. Which is annoying me. What do I need here? 1 minute of injury time, which will happen. 4 subs made from Liverpool, which will happen, but that'll probably be too late. What about this one? Goal on any 9th minute and a Liverpool left-footed goal. That's possible. I'm close. Close but no cigar right now. Liverpool possession 55. 75, 76. There we go. Yeah. Makes sense. But I think we've had the better chances. And I mean, we were just talking about the shots on target there. We've had 4 shots and 3 of ours have been on target. They've now had 7 and 2 of theirs have been on target. Like, I think we've had the better chances. I think we look more dangerous is maybe the way to put it. We've defended well. That's stopped them from doing what they want to do for the most part. Their rotation isn't helping, and obviously they don't look like they're in flying form right now. They're not doing it with much confidence. It's not exactly an inspiring way to play the game, but it sort of works out for us so far. 35 on the 35th minute here. Liverpool passing it around at the back. Mikel Antonio charging after everyone here, there, and everywhere. Him and Paquetá pushing that 4-4-2 just sort of from the front line, looking to press it a bit. Not really committing in a big dangerous ways. Certainly feels like we're not. It certainly feels like a far cry from some pressing performances we've seen recently. Bless me. Is there another one? There might be another one. Bless me twice. Bowen almost manages to sneak around. Can't quite manage it. This is a transition that we're going to have to be careful of. Robertson thankfully goes for a bold one all the way to the back post. Gakpo looking to load up a shot on the volley. Thankfully, it dribbles its way through after a deflection into Areola. Yeah, I think there was a moment. We're just looking at that opportunity. I think there was a moment where Bowen maybe could have hit it first time. Maybe I was a bit harsh on Paquetá. I think the nod down wasn't bad, but close, very, very close. I want a new manager, don't get me wrong, but I do hope we give Moyes a good stand-off at the end of the season. Yeah, I guess, I mean, listen, the Moyes stuff is whatever it is. I think if he is to leave, then my hope is, and I think Geo, I was talking to Geo about this. I can't remember if Geo ended up doing a video. I think he did do the video. I can't remember. I made a thumbnail for it. But the idea of announce it now, if he's going, and realistically announce it before the last home game of the season, so we can all sort of just be like, thanks for everything. Cheers, see you later, sort of thing. As opposed to if it hasn't been announced by the final game of the season, I have a feeling the atmosphere could be similar to this, if not worse, more virulent. So hopefully it's a situation which it's announced beforehand, so there can at least be some form of like thanks for everything type vibe, regardless of anything. But we'll have to see. With David Sullivan, he doesn't like firing managers, and it wouldn't surprise me if we won't know until about an hour or two after the final full-time whistle of the season. Thank you, Pete. Appreciate it. Listen, maybe if I'm lucky, HDU, if I'm lucky. Robertson turns his man, looks to try and dink it across again to that far post. It's hooked back towards it, but it's gone out to a goal kick. It just doesn't, the atmosphere at the stadium just does not exist, if I'm being honest. It just really does not exist right now. What concerns me, of course, is Liverpool have rotated. So they've got the likes of Nunez and Salah on the bench who can come on later into the game. Slightly more fresh legs. Obviously, they've been under more pressure time-wise than us recently. But, just coming on late, it would be a big benefit. And that concerns me a little bit in the background of my mind. That's sort of there. But, I mean, so far, so good for us. So far, so good for us, but realistically, I don't know. I feel like we might rue some of our lack of counter-attacking opportunities that we've had. Some of our little lackluster movements that we've had in those areas. That's the vibe I would want. That's the vibe I'd want. I know McCoy's just talking about how flat the atmosphere is. He's not wrong. It's completely dead. Legitimately, I can't hear anything. And it's not just, like, obviously the home fans are the big part of it, but, like, I can't hear the away fans either. It's not like, oh, you can just hear the away fans, you can't hear any of the home fans. Bro, I can't hear a single thing right now. McAllister looks to dink it across to Diaz, gets the control down. Laid short. Ooh, shot from Cody Gakpo goes high and wide. So sarcastic. Wee. Gakpo tries to stab it towards goal off the pass from Diaz. Outside of his right boot. High and wide. Nunez and Salah warming up at the side. That's not Nunez, that's Tsimikas, ignore me. Oh, bloody hell, Dean's gone big. Dean's gone big, I respect it. I respect it. I have a donut that I want to eat at some point. Whether it's when it's at half time, whether it's at full time, I don't know. But there is a donut in the kitchen I've been eyeing up. And I'm very excited for it. Big boot forward, headed back towards goal from Alvarez. Mikel Antonio can't get his foot in ahead of Endo, and Liverpool can come away with a counter-attack. There's just so many claret shirts. Wide to the left-hand side. Luis Diaz looking to try and cut his way in on Sufal. Hits it. Oh my God, it hits the base of the post. Jesus Christ. Back towards the goal. Harvey Elliott, thankfully, gets way underneath it. The header goes high over the bar. But Luis Diaz, it almost felt like the opportunity had gone. He was 1v1 versus Sufal. Manages to get his way on the inside. Souček comes across to sort of get involved. It felt like the opportunity for him had almost passed. He just sort of swings a leg at it. Just a little bit of space opens up and he manages to hit the base of the post. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Is that the best opportunity Liverpool had? It's probably the closest they've come to scoring. It's probably the closest they've come to scoring, if we're being honest about it. It's a Greg's Iced Ring Donut. It's a Greg's Iced Ring Donut. I bought it when I got Greg's this morning for breakfast. I was walking past the Greg's, went in, got a bacon sandwich. You know how it goes. And I got an ice ring donut. I thought that would be... Future Charlie's going to thank me for this. And I tell you what, Future Charlie is very excited about this. Big boot, looking for Bowen. Antonio dive. Go on, Mikhail. Go on, Mikhail. Good work. Jarrod Bowen swarmed by about 4 players, and that's going to be a free kick. Thank you very much. Mikel Antonio just battling for it. Non-stop. Almost lifts up Gravenberch on his back at one point. And it's going to be a free kick to us. Probably about 40, 45 yards away from goal. 40 yards away from goal, something like that. It's nowhere near shooting range for even James Ward-Prowse, but he's obviously not on the pitch. So Jarrod Bowen's going to be the one to take it. Slightly off-centre to the right-hand side, but sort of maybe a halfway between the middle of the pitch and the touchline. Going to hit it with his left foot, in swinging. Over the top, and Thomas Souček almost managed to get his head onto it. Can't quite get there. Remains 0-0. Just a little bit too far ahead. Can't quite get his big head on the end of it. Oh, high turnover, poor pass from Paquetá, but Alvarez dives in nicely. Jarrod Bowen looks to try and hit it, takes a deflection, and Alisson matches it. It's going to be a corner. Good work. I tell you what, it's Jarrod Bowen. Is he playing for a move to Liverpool? I don't know. I don't care. He's doing really well today. Dives in, just a high turnover from us. It's rare, and then he hits it. He's looking for... I tell you what, Alisson does well because he's looking for that far bottom left-hand corner. Ball gets played in quickly. And it's in! It's 1-0 and it's Jarrod Bowen with the goal. I called it just a second before that. He's been doing really well today, and there it is. I don't know if it was a header. The replay came back. We came back from the replay and it was almost heading into the net instantaneously. I think it was Jarrod Bowen with a header of all things into the far side. Alisson can't quite match it after just almost scoring a split second before with a deflected shot off Van Dijk. We take the corner quickly and Jarrod Bowen ends up converting it 1-0. Let's go. Corners taken quickly from Emerson. Kudus whips it in. And Jarrod Bowen in the centre gets his head onto it. We take it quickly. We hit them fast before they're ready for it. That's what I'm talking about. 1-0. Jarrod Bowen with the header. Love that. Absolutely love that. Bang. 1-0 just before the break. Perfect. Perfect. That's what we needed. That's what the crowd needed. That's what us as a team needed. How Liverpool responds is going to be scary. But at this point, not fast. 1-0 West Ham. Let's go. Who was it? Someone said it above there. Oh, Matt, I didn't see you. Good to see you, sir. How are you? Hope you're well. Didn't see you at all there. Sorry, I completely missed it in the melee of whatever was going on. Who is it who said it? That's OG, that's what we're talking about. Let's get a goal before half-time, get the early afternoon half-time beers, and let's go smash the second half, because this is dead. Exactly. Now we move. Oh. Little bit of quick passing there from us, looking to try and play the way in. There is a little bit of a rise in atmosphere. Not a massive one, but just a little bit of a rise in atmosphere now. '200th game for West Ham. Jarrod Bowen did not know that, but there you go. Paquetá with the interception. Kudus turns his man nicely. Takes on Trent. Can't quite beat him. Sensitized to turn inwards. A little bit of miscommunication between him and Paquetá. It was a nice idea there, but a little bit of miscommunication and Liverpool can come away with the ball. They boot it long now. Looking for Luis Diaz. They're Mikel Antonio in this sense. He stayed up high. He stayed central. Picks up the ball. Looks to take on Sufal 1v1 wide on the left-hand side. Kurt Zuma's there getting the block in with his huge wingspan. And he gets the ball away. Nice work. I think Kurt Zuma's had an okay game today, to be fair to him. As scary as it is. Mikel Antonio looking for the two back from Zuma. We managed to keep possession of the ball. Nicely done. I tell you what, it's taken a while, but the crowd are there now. Emerson does well, takes it past his man really easily, just dribbles it forward. There's no options for him at all. Why are we getting no support in there? Should have been up alongside him. Paquetá should have been given options. There was just nothing there for him. He ends up getting run out and gets dispossessed easily. Annoying. Very, very annoying. I think we will, Slenders. This is going to sound like a criticism of Jarrod Bowen, and I don't mean that. I don't think Jarrod Bowen is good enough or the right type of player to play for the top four teams that we have currently. If one of them changed their style, Liverpool stylistically are probably close enough, but I think when you compare him and Salah, it's night and day. So I think he's just not quite at that level, which means that we should be able to, in theory, keep him for a long time and he can continue to be our star player, which is great because Jarrod Bowen is more than good enough to be playing European football. I just don't know if he's quite right for those top four teams. And that's really the only teams he'd be leaving for, if we're being honest about it. The only thing I was thinking about this the other day, the only club I'd be scared of coming in for him would be Chelsea, just because they come in and just do mad stuff that doesn't make sense. But realistically, I think he's going to stay for a long time, and I'm happy with that. He was talking in the week about maybe becoming captain in the future and stuff, and that's the sort of stuff I'd love to see. I think he's more than good enough for it. Oh, I didn't hear that. Equal to Canio's scoring record, 16. I didn't hear that, Brian. Good stat. Robert said it as well. Beats the Canio's goal time. He did not know that. Susan, thank you very much for the £5. Now you can hear the crowd. Yeah, that's what we needed. Ball comes in. Ooh, Ogbono gets the header away. Takes a big old bounce deflection off Harvey Elliott and thankfully goes over. Susan, thank you very much. I'll put your name in the top. Hope you're well, Susan. There we go. Thank you very much. Name should appear there momentarily. That is true as well. He's got a really long contract. Trinity's head bang on there. He's got a really long contract as well. So anyone coming in for him would have to pay an absolute an absolute fortune for him. Mohamed Kudus picks up the ball, looks to take on his man, beats Quansah. He doesn't really have any options. There's people around him now. Decides to pass it further back. Paquetá and Emerson link up. Kudus can't quite get there off the pass. Paquetá collects it regardless. He's in a decent position. There's just no one in there. He looks to cross and there just literally isn't a soul in the box. They were all standing there looking for pullbacks. And I tell you what, Paquetá does really well to nutmeg his man on the way through as well. They were all standing there looking for the pullback, and he was looking up looking for the cross. There's the halftime whistle. He was looking up for the cross, and there was just no one in there, and everyone was standing there looking for the pullback. Jarrod Bowen in a perfect position for it, but it was just so many people in there. I don't really care. I'll be honest with you. I don't care either way, because the halftime score here is West Ham United 1, Liverpool 0. Thank Christ for that. Big. I can hear the commentator right now saying, I hope it's better in the second half. It has to be better in the second half. Look, I think we've played our game to I was going to say to perfection. I think that's an over-exaggeration. I think we've played our game well enough to shut them down. They haven't been given the space and time that they want inside the box to create stuff, and we've been the more dangerous side. I think the goal comes from Jarrod Bowen isn't a surprise. He's been lively, he's been on point, he's been the one who I felt like if something was going to happen, it was going to come through Jarrod Bowen, because he's been the liveliest player on the pitch. He's been the one who felt like was most likely to get a goal the entire game. I didn't think it was going to come from a header, from a cross, from a short corner. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but if I was to put money on it, I would have said Jarrod Bowen would be the goal. But I tell you what, Jay, I'm happy at halftime.
Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, I think is what I would describe as. I feel like Liverpool have got a couple of gears to go, but it's very similar to them on Wednesday. Luis Diaz is the only player that's turned up for Liverpool this afternoon. I think the rest of them look a little bit lacking of energy or enthusiasm. The bench looks deflated now. I think right time to score. Listen, we haven't been, this is what I will say, we have not been fantastic. We've done all right. We're doing all right. That's it. I think they've had a few half chances and a few decent balls into box they've not taken advantage of. But we've created some of our own chances as well. You know, that nod down from Paquetá, excellent opportunity. But we've done all right. But it's enough to be winning this game. So I think that shows that this Liverpool team are there to be got at. So I'm happy because we're leading. I'm hopeful we can win. I'm just fearing when it comes to substitution time, because they've got an array of talent on that bench, and I think Liverpool can only really get better from this point. But I think the game suits us now. I think 1-0 up, and after we scored, I felt there was a little bit of belief and confidence that started to shine in the West Ham team. Zuma's run of Bonner looked a bit better. I think Paqueta's done all right the first half, to be fair. I would have liked him to have got a corner when he was on the goal line with it, but yeah, I think I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I think I would agree. I think at halfway through, I can't remember if it was which one of the commentators, whether Ali Quest or not, saying that we've probably been the more dangerous of the two teams despite having less possession, and I think I would probably agree with that. I think Liverpool have had some noted chances, but realistically, like, their shots on goal are coming from the right hand side. It's either at Trent or I think it was Harvey Elliott straight at Areola. They've not been. They've had a lot of sort of time, and like you say, I think they do have gears to go up. I think that's a fair. I think that's definitely a correct assumption, a correct assessment. I do think they have gears to go through, but
they did on Wednesday. They never got going. They just stayed in second gear the whole game. I think Diaz is the one that's causing me concern. I think he's looked good, and I think every time he runs at Soufal, bar one or two occasions, he's getting the better of him. And he's a fantastic player. He's not a predictable winger where, you know, Kudus on the left-hand side, you know, he's going to want to go down there because he's left-footed. Bowen's unpredictable. He can cut in. He can go down the outside. And Diaz has got that about him. He might come inside twice, and then the third time he actually goes on the outside and puts the cross in. So he's very difficult to mark. But I think at the end of the half there, Kurt Zouma did fantastic to come over and cover Soufal and say, right, you get the outside, I've got the inside. In the end, Zouma nicked it off him and ran away with it. So I think we're going to have to watch Diaz. But apart from that, I think their threat is quite limited somewhat. And when they're crossing it to Harvey Elliott and Cody Gakpo, I'm not that worried, truth be told. I am hopeful, Charlie. I am hopeful. And I think should we go on and win this game, I'm going to look forward to the afternoon, actually. I'm going to become a big Burnley and Sheffield United fan from 3 p.m. onwards today for a couple of hours.
win here would be beautiful. But I shall be back in a moment.
Thank you very much, Charlie. Aqua says, happy with the scoreline. Hope Moyes doesn't try and defend us. Liverpool have a lot to change. I agree. It's got to suit us. Counter-attacking football has got to suit us now. Kudus, Bowen on the run. Endo's on a booking. Paqueta can start to do things. Antonio, I feel like, has been busy, but I don't feel like we've seen beast mode Antonio yet. I think sometimes he can just give everything and he's spent by the hour mark. I don't feel like Antonio's been doing that yet. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's not criticism. I feel like there's still plenty of Antonio for the second half, whereas previously, maybe at the half-time mark, you're thinking, how much longer has Antonio got left? I don't feel like that today. So I'm quite hopeful, but I'm scared about the substitutions that Klopp could make. Jeff would take a 1-1. I wouldn't take a draw. I want to win this game. John thinks we've been all right. I agree with that one. Mancini says we're winning against Liverpool. We're 8th in the league. I feel nothing. Can anyone explain? I really wanted us to stop them winning the league, but Everton already did that. I think you've just resigned, Mancini. I've seen your comments over the last few weeks. I think you've just like Moyes football, and you're just resigned to the season being over because the football isn't enjoyable. Listen, I'm not going to lie. For the first, until bar moments, it was a pretty boring first half. It was hardly end to end or anything. It's, at one point in the game, it came up within 5 minutes, we had 6% possession or something. It can be, it's a tad, the tempo is low in this game. Harry said, I'm definitely not becoming a Sheffield United fan for obvious reasons. I do get why you are, though. Yeah, I am. For 2 hours, beat Newcastle, please. Thank you very much, Sheffield United. I say a Sheffield United fan and Burnley fan. I'm not really becoming a fan. I just want them to win. Or if you want, let's flip it. I want Newcastle, Man United to lose. Let's word it like that. Maybe that's a bit better. But I always want what benefits West Ham the most. I find it quite easy to want Sheffield United to beat Newcastle today because it will benefit West Ham. But only for 2 hours. At 5 o'clock, I can go back to disliking them. Drew says the ball in from Alvarez was a thing of beauty. Anko says it's boring football. Will come in the second half with Liverpool changes. Barry says, let's hope we can push on and get a couple more shots on target. Ain't too much to ask. Jared Bowen is Jared Bowen today, though, isn't he? Jared Bowen is bang up for it. I'm loving this version of him. When Bowen turns up like this, he's, I wouldn't say unplayable because that would put him in the same category as Kevin De Bruyne, for example. I think that category is only fitting for some players, but I do think Bowen is an incredible footballer when he's in the mood he is today, getting on the ball, getting his shots away. And this is what I'd like Kudus to do more. You don't have to score when you shoot from outside the box. Yes, it would be nice, but Bowen took a shot, got deflected wide, we took the corner and Bowen headed it in. So it's come from Jared Bowen hitting it from outside the box. So we just need a bit more of bravery, I think, from those outside the area. Have a dig, test Allison, you might get a deflection, etc., etc. Unsure about Emerson's corners. I'm unsure about that one. But can Mikel Antonio please stop taking long throws? I really hate our long throw thing. I've yet to see it work. It causes us problems when they break on us. Please, no more long throws. Thank you very much. Cyclops says, Bowen's the only one worth watching. Alan says our passion's been chipped away bit by Moyes. Now everybody's been bored to death for years. Brian says need to get more. Liverpool aren't all that. Stevie said need to get a second in the first 15-20 minutes, then get some buses down from Stratford High Street. I agree with that one. Brian's got the same fears. I think most of us do. It's hard not to feel like this, which is Liverpool subs could change the game. We've obviously seen Newcastle recently where the subs came on and they won the game. We've seen Leverkusen where the subs came on at halftime and the away leg as well, didn't they? The subs came on and changed the game. So I think we're right to have a bit of fear. And also when you look at our bench, there's nobody on there that you'd be itching to get on. I think the only one I'd maybe be looking at is Johnson for Soufal, but it's just because Diaz is so bloody good. But I wouldn't make a change at halftime. I would continue the way we are. That's what I'd be saying to Paqueta, get on Endo. I'd maybe swap. I'd maybe swap Kudus and Paqueta, and the reason being, and I think both are having decent games, right? And I think Paqueta's doing decent. I think Kudus is doing decent. 6, 7 out of 10s, right? Nothing too fancy, but they're not poor. But the reason I swapped them is because Endo's on a booking. I'd like to see Kudus running at him and running past him where you can't touch him. You've seen Endo with Bowen when he wasn't on the yellow card, where you had to let Bowen cut across in front of him and he gave it to Kudus. Well, can we have a bit more of that, please? And I just think Kudus is more likely to ask questions of Endo, force Jurgen Klopp to make his subs. It'll probably be Curtis Jones that comes on into that area of the pitch, who's not a defensive midfielder, will also commit fouls. So I'd like Kudus to sort of come in and maybe take that number 10 role and put Paqueta out for on the left hand side, just to get Kudus running at Endo for me. Anyway,
I mean, I see the logic. Endo got a yellow card specifically because Kudus spun him.
Yeah, I'd like to sort of exploit Endo being on a booking, and I think Kudus is more likely to do that than Paqueta. And also, I think Kudus and Bowen's link-up play is sometimes really good. It's just difficult when they're on opposite sides of the pitch. So I think having them closer together on the break would actually be beneficial. And I think Paqueta's having an all right game, actually. I've been very critical of him for the previous 4. I don't think he's, incredible. Like I said, 6, 7 at best, 6 at worst out of 10 so far. It's been an all right half for him. Same with most of our players. But I still think, while Liverpool got a few gears to go, I think we've got 1 or 2 ourselves, actually. But we need to be brave this second half and try and go get that second one, because I'm not sure 1 goal wins it, Charlie.
Yeah, I said 2-1 to Liverpool before the game because I felt like there would be more than just this in there. I think that's... I don't know how I feel now. I think a draw is potentially likely, but I feel like if you... I would probably make the switches you would make as well. I feel like Paquetá in the middle is fine.
Well, you say what you want. Everybody thinks he's been awful. Like in the live chat, I feel like I'm the most positive one out of everybody watching. Bro says get him off. He's been sick of him. Steve says he's not doing much for him. Where are we? Stuart thinks Paqueta's been awful as well. I think he's been all right. I think he's been fine. I don't think he's given the ball away much. I think he was fortunate not to get booked from McAllister. I think his head down to Bowen was fantastic. I think it was a bit frustrating. I would have thought he could maybe have brought that down himself and had to go, but I get what he was trying to do. It was very unselfish of him. I think he's been fine in there. I think he's done all right. Like I said, I don't think he's having a great game, but I don't think he's been terrible, to be honest with you. The only player that I think has been really good is Jared Bowen. I think he's the only player I think has been brilliant in the first half, and I think I've been pleasantly surprised by Ogbonna and Zuma, but I think that's because I had low expectations. But Bowen's the one that stood out of everybody. Him and Diaz are the 2 players to me that are head and shoulders above the rest so far in the first 45.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm more I think about it, the more I'm coming around to it. I think Paquetá's been fine. I don't think he's been that good. I don't think he's been that bad. I just think he's sort of somewhere in the middle. And I think if you put him out on the left-hand side, give him that time to link up with Emerson, get that going, like you say, shift could have sort of into a more central role. You can get a better Endo, but also, like you say, I think link up play with him and Jared Bowen. And also, when Paquetá's on the left, he has that drop deep, collects it, and then pings it across. And then all of a sudden, our counterattacks become a lot more dangerous if you have Kudus and Bowen in those areas, as opposed to Bowen, Antonio sort of around, and then Paquetá just sort of floating here, there, and everywhere. The counterattacks come a lot more dangerous. And I think today, especially when you're already 1-0 up, I think that's going to become a lot more vital in the second half. So I'm here for that as well.
I think the one thing I was saying when you were away, I think I feel like I haven't seen Antonio giving everything in the first 45. Usually at this point, I'm concerned about how much energy Antonio's got in the tank. I don't have that today. I feel like he's looking quite fresh, actually. So I think we can cause him a bit of problems in the second half with counter attacks. And I'm hoping that we can go on and get a second goal and really make it difficult, but also just knock the stuffing out of Liverpool. I think at 2-0 down, I think they'd have to be like, bloody hell, because they're not, if we go 2-0 up, they're not conceding the game. They're conceding the title. They're going to think, well, there's no way we can't get back in this title. It's not, we can't get back in this game. They'll be thinking, that's it. The title's done. We're done if we don't win today. So I think if we can go 2-0 up, I think you might see a real deflated Liverpool out there. But we need to go get the second goal. I'm just not convinced 1's enough. Hope it is. I wouldn't take a draw right now. I would not take a draw. We need to win today. A draw doesn't do us any good. It doesn't do us anything. Even a win might not be enough, but we need to win just to give ourselves a chance and put the pressure on the teams around us. And I'll be buzzing if we can win, Charlie. I really will be.
Yes.
And cautiously optimistic.
Well, let's see if that pays off at full time, Geo, when you'll be doing our live match review. Geo will be back then. Geo will be back then if you want more actual talking nonsense, actual talking sense as opposed to me, which is nonsense. I don't think there's been any changes at halftime. 2 teams are out. I can see them, but I can't see any changes, I believe. Might be wrong. We'll have to see how that plays out. But West Ham are about to get the game underway, or the second half underway. Yeah, no subs from Liverpool either, and I can't see any from us. So I'm surprised, but not mad about it. There we go. Second half underway. Come on, you Irons, deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 things. 1-0 West Ham at the break against Liverpool. Some people have won on Match Bingo, I saw at halftime. So if that's one of you, congratulations. Congratulations. I'll get the timer exact now, actually. I can see what the timer is on theirs now. So let's get this exactly correct. Let's lob it to 30 and we'll just... No, okay. We'll lob it to like 32 and then just wait. There we go. There we go. Now we're perfectly in time. Yeah. Yeah, because then they would really have to come at us. They would have to throw everything at us. There's been no changes in terms of formation from us at halftime either. Paquetá still playing in that 10 position. Kudus wide on the left-hand side. Liverpool trying to bully their way forward. Edson Alvarez says no, but Trent managed to bounce in. The cross goes all the way across to Luis Diaz on the far side. Dictator to set. Oh my giddy aunt. Gravenberch absolutely smashes it, and thankfully it goes over. Big hoof across the pitch from Trent. Not sure why he went for Diaz instead of into the centre, but Diaz sort of toe pokes it into the centre, and Gravenberch, it bounced up just before him, and he unleashes an absolute Moyes style smash. But thankfully it goes significantly over. But a reckless hit. A reckless hit. This is just sneak him on. Get in trouble. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's the vibe I want. That's the kind of underhanded tactics I'm hoping we deploy. You know? I think it would confirm us the win, and it would be funny. Which, if anything, are the 2 most important things in life. Is that true, OG? Jarrod Bowen is the only West Ham player to score in 3 different games against Liverpool in a single campaign since Jeff Hurst. Makes sense, but also wild. Wild. Most points in the Premier League this season from losing positions, Liverpool. We're 4th. Scenes, love that. Love that. Didn't think it'd be us, but we're 4th on that list. But somehow, Liverpool are first, so gotta be careful of that. Played across the box, looking for Gakpo, pulls it back. No one there. Cleared away from Thomas Souček. Oh, good pressing from us. Good pressure. And could have pulled up earlier than I would have wanted him to there. I thought he could have carried on pushing it. It is true. Came up was on Twitter. Love that, then. Love that. Forward comes Liverpool again. Looking to try and lay it in. Alex. Whoa! It's in. It's 1-1. I thought it somehow got. I thought it had gone wide, but Andy Robertson somehow manages to convert there. I'm not entirely certain how. Areola gets a hand onto it. He hits it in a really odd, unusual, unexpected way, and it is 1-1. It's pulled across the box from Luis Diaz, and Robertson just sort of hits it early in such an odd manner. And I don't know. Was Areola complaining about offside or something? He can't be. It's a mile off, but I tell you what, I mean, Robertson does well to pull a shot off from that sort of range. There's so many shirts ahead of Areola that it wouldn't surprise me if he saw it late. I don't think he saw it so late, but his feet are adjusting at the time. He can't quite get the push off, gets his hand to it. 1-1. 1-1. Alexander Robertson would have gone. Andy. I love Andy Robertson as well, so I don't know how the hell I keep messing up his name, but we're here now, and it's probably just going to continuously happen. Can we swap it? No. We're not back. No, relief. is the word I will say with some sort of confidence, as if it's possible to happen. Anthony Taylor telling Mohamed Kudus is going to take a free kick wide on the left-hand side, right by the touchline to move the ball about a yard. That's really going to change everything. I'm glad he's done that. It's essentially a deep corner. It's in the corner quadrant, probably about 10 yards away from the corner, basically on the touchline. Played in from Kudus, headed away. Sufal hits it wide. Hits it wide is to finish that sentence. He hit it wide. Look. One, but it doesn't really change anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it obviously changes changes the vibe of the match. Don't get me wrong about that. But what I mean is, tactically, I don't think it changes anything for us, and I don't think it changes anything for them. So in that sense, c'est la vie. But yeah, that's the only positive I can find from this. Liverpool come forward now, wide on that left-hand side, looking to take on Sufal, cuts inside instead and plays it in. Oh, and then the flick, Gravenberch again. Gravenberch once again just getting in behind the back. Just sort of drifts in behind. Edson Alvarez comes across to try and get there, but can't before. Ogbona's literally hugging Luis Diaz, by the way. And he tries to just get a flick on, can't make it work, and thankfully for us, it goes wide. Thankfully for us, it goes wide. He's playing a style of football that is reminiscent to how he usually plays. This is how I say Cyrus. I'm not going to get into arguments about what a low block is and whether we do it. But if you imagine how Moyes plays, that's what we've been doing for the entire game, for the most part. Going to be a corner to Liverpool. Shot from Alexander-Arnold, takes the deflection. It's going to be a corner. Deflected off Emerson, who gets the block. Right, corner, wide from our right-hand side. It's going to be Trent Alexander-Robertson. Why not? Let's just get his name completely wrong. It's going to be Robertson to take. Outswinger with his left foot. Headed away. Only as far as Gravenberch, just outside the area. Maybe could have gone for a shot. Instead, lays it short back. Pinged back towards goal. Robertson manages to hook the ball back towards the area somehow, and Ogbonna stops it. Was it a fantastic pass from Alexander-Arnold? I don't know. Fletcher there just being like, oh, it's a fantastic pass from Alexander-Arnold. I'm not going to say it wasn't technically good. It was technically a good pass, but I don't think it was very useful. It took Robertson flying in and just about stopping it from going out to actually be able to create anything still. Back in goes Robertson with the corner, headed away again from Kurt Zouma. I think it was Kudus with the control down, tried to boot it, clearing it. Takes a deflection, it's going to be a goal kick. Long second half to come, it feels like. Long second half to come. What's my girlfriend's phone in here? I was like, what the heck's gone on there? Two lines have been claimed now, so congratulations to whoever did that. I tell you what, the person who claimed one line and two lines, I think is the same person, so congratulations to whoever that is. They are high rolling right now. How close am I to a full house? Relatively, but... Relatively. Keep the faith, Charlie. Keep the faith. It's going to happen at some point before the season. Is Marshall on the bench or isn't he allowed to play? I think he'd be allowed to play, but he's not on the bench now. Diaz looks to take on Zuma, pulls it back. This is a great opportunity for Liverpool, and I tell you what, Angelo Ogbonna gets a good block in there at the back. Liverpool flying forward. Diaz takes on Zuma. Instead of trying to cut inside, plays it across quickly to Gakpo, who tries to hit it after taking one touch. And it's a good block from Kurt Zouma. Sorry, not from Kurt Zouma, from Angelo Ogbonna. Liverpool knocking on the door in a more dangerous manner in this second half. Kudus takes it past his man beautifully. Creates it past Quansah. He's got look up at Antonio, look up at Antonio, look up at Antonio, look up at Antonio, look up at Antonio. No free kick. It should have been a free kick, I'm not gonna lie, but no free kick given against us and for us, and forward come Liverpool again on the counter attack. Thankfully Trent mile offside there. Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know why that's not a free kick. Gravenberch is all over. He's pulling Kudus back for about 10, 15 yards there. So I don't really understand how that isn't a foul. But there we go. I wish he played it earlier. Mikel Antonio was in so much space there. If he could have somehow just played with the outside of his boots, Mikel Antonio would have been a beautiful moment potentially. Bold and difficult, but beautiful. Big boot forward from a free kick from deep from Areola. And it's going to be a throw-in because Areola can't kick long. He can't kick long. It's impossible for him to do it accurately. Liverpool take it quickly out wide to Andy Robertson. We're all over at 6s and 7s right now. Robertson looks to try and cross the ball in. Thankfully, it rolls across the front of everyone. But Emerson's... I don't know what Emerson's touch there was. Souček gets a head onto it. Sofal then nods it away again. Good tackle from Sofal there. Nicely done. Stops that one from getting any further forward. I'd low-key take it. I'd low-key take it. Would I? I don't know. I'd probably low-key take it. Played forward. Liverpool looking to try and pass it around. Quick switch to Harvey Elliott. They've definitely come out with more fizz than they did in the first here, Liverpool. They're passing it a lot quicker, it feels like. And I don't know whether... Oh, nice little flicker over. I don't know whether... Oh, Paquetá's going to charge after that one. Almost manages to get in there ahead of Virgil van Dijk. Can't quite manage it. But there does feel like there's a little bit more summit from them so far. They're playing it a little bit quicker. I don't know what was said to Liverpool at half time, but they're playing it a lot faster than they were in the first half. That's causing us problems. Just in case you wanted to see what the bench was, by the way, that's the bench that none have been used obviously yet so far. So shot from range, and Jesus, Areola manages to stop the save. Trent hits a big one from range. He just shifts it onto his right foot and hits it. I think thankfully it was going... I say thankfully. I think it was going... It was going to go wide either way or hit the post. But Areola matches it. I mean, me and Geo both said it. Geo said it first. I mean, the idea that Liverpool had gears to go up. And they've certainly gone up one in this second half so far. Trent to take the corner. Plays it short to Elliott. Back to McAllister, who plays it in, looking for Virgil van Dijk, whose head gets onto it, but it's significantly wide. Can't get any sort of purchase on the header, and it goes wide. I think you mean Gakpo. The camera zoomed in on Gakpo. I'm assuming it's Gakpo. But yeah, that's the bench. Fabianski, Johnson, Cresswell, Casey, Phillips, Ward-Prowse, Cornet, Ings, and Mubama. I don't really know what you do to change this. I would be tempted to, like, again, the idea of switching Kudus and Paquetá around is tempting to me. Oh my God, Areola just completed a long kick. You'll have to see it. Alvarez diving in there, getting in there, trying to do the hard work. Emerson comes flying across. Love that tackle. Ball gets played across to Harvey Elliott, who's in the open space, but he's so in the corner quadrant that it's not funny. He's going to look to try and dink it across with his weak foot. Does. Oh, sorry, with his strong foot, but Sofal headers it away. Endo collects it. Sofal comes flying out, and thankfully he completely overcooked that, so Bowen can't quite get there. Kudus is looking more central right now, and Paquetá was more left. Paquetá just came head foot. Kudus! I love him as the player. He's the most frustrating person in the world to watch. He had the ball. It came to him in the feet. And if he just looked to his left, he would have seen about half a pitch of space that he could have just sprint into. And instead, he passes it backwards. And it's like, bro, we had... Run! His decision making, man, it's so annoying at times. Oh. Anyway, a bone goes down. It's a free kick to us. Andy Robertson on Jared Bowen, who then clatters into the back of Virgil as well. Not nice for either men. Jared Bowen holding his elbow, and I think Virgil's going to get helped back up there. Oxby, thank you very much for the 199. Appreciate you. Your name will be going to the top corner after this sneeze. Bless me. Oxby, thank you very much. Heading in the top now. Where are we at? There you are. There you go. It'll appear eventually. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Free kick to us. Paquetá, the one who went down under the challenge of, I think, McAllister. Yeah, McAllister just in round the back. I mean, Paquetá's has made a meal out of it somewhat. But is it a free kick? Yes. Does he go down with looking for an Oscar? Yes. Yeah, Kudus is still out wide on the left hand side. I wouldn't be against that switch. I don't know what I would do to change the game. It's difficult because the four we have up front, our sort of front four right now, are so far and away better than what we have as other options. Paquetá vibes. It's a foul somehow against Kurt Zouma. Not really sure how. Mikel Antonio and Anthony Taylor just having a conversation there. Ings, I don't know. Azion, thank you. Ings, I don't know. It's like that four we have are so far and away better than what we have on the bench, right? So you look at the bench there. Johnson's an option, Cresswell's an option, Ward-Prowse, Cornet, Ings are the options, right? Realistically for David Moyes. Is any of those change anything? Probably not. James Ward-Prowse would maybe give you a better press if that's what you're going to want to look to do. Almost gets nips in there, can't quite manage it. James Ward-Prowse would be able to press better if you put him in a number 10 position, but then you're taking off either Kudus or Paquetá to try and make that happen. You could change formation, but I don't know how much that would change things. I don't know. It's almost like being stuck because it's not really the tactics. If you're looking to change formation or something like we needed to against Crystal Palace, then you could sort of switch things up. But in a scenario where you're not looking to really switch up the formation or anything, it becomes a really difficult sub to make. I just don't know what you do. If the people want it, OG, the people want it. I think we have bells, unless they've been eaten. I think we have bells. Gakpo in the centre. Ogbonna says no. Zuma says maybe though. Flipping heck. Thankfully, Areola gets it away. Big boot. Mikel Antonio charging onto it. And how's that not a foul against Mikel Antonio? Please someone explain to me. I do not understand the referee decisions on Mikel Antonio. Mikel Antonio is charging down on the two centre-backs. And Virgil van Dijk, who's nowhere close to it, just comes across like that on him. And I'm not saying he's necessarily elbowing him, but he's putting his hand there. Go on, Mikel. Fight for that. Good work. And I just don't understand how that's not a foul. Mikel Antonio is saying the same thing against Anthony Taylor now. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me how technically an off-the-ball incident like that is not a foul. It makes no sense to me. Ball gets played through from Liverpool. Souček tries to get the block. Shot from range, thankfully, hits the stanchion. It's going to be a corner. It took a deflection off Gravenberch's shot, and it's going to be a corner to Liverpool. Love that from Mikel Antonio, by the way. After he basically should have had a foul. Goes flying across to try and stop that from getting in there. MC, good to see you. First half we were doing all right. Whipped in. Gakpo deflects. Oh, it's too. It takes such a massive deflection. It's going to go down as an own goal. And Angelo Ogbonna all he can do is laugh about it. It takes a massive deflection off him. It's a comical own goal. It's not as bad as the two from Crystal Palace, but Jesus Christ. It's 2-1. It's 2-1. I don't know what happened there. Let's have a look at exactly what happened. It's played in. Gakpo smashes it. It takes a massive it's nowhere near being accurate. It takes a huge deflection off Ogbonna, who's just stood there, and then Souček, who's on the line, bounces off his knee and then off Areola's arm to go in. I mean, if I'm the I don't know who I'd even give that goal to, because it hits off 3 separate West Ham players on the way through, but it does end up being 2-1. Oh well. Oh well. Nothing could be done. It's done now. Done now. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? 2-1. To answer your question, MC, first half we did quite well. It felt like Liverpool weren't on form yet. It felt like they had levels to go up. And they've had 2 relatively lucky goals. I think their first one was well done. It was hit early, and it was just unlucky that we couldn't deal with it because it was hit so early. Areola wasn't ready for it. Second one, that's a massive whatever. Do you know what I mean? Second half, Liverpool have come out, stepped up a gear, and have been able to put us under pressure in a way that we haven't been able to since the first half. Kudus takes it past 2 men, then decides to hit it with whatever, man. I don't. So the official verdict apparently is Areola own goal. Like I said, it hit off a massive deflection off Ogbonna to direct it towards the goal, then off Souček, then off Areola. So it's officially an Areola own goal apparently. Oh well. So foul on the ball. It's not over. We've still got 23 minutes to go, but we need Liverpool to step off the pace. Because I don't know how you change this game up to get back into it. So we need Liverpool to step off the pace a little bit. Big throw into the box. Zuma tries to get the head down. Emerson can't get it at first time. Asking can on second. Kudus tries to take it past McAllister. He manages to get the ball in somehow. He does really well to somehow get the ball in. Doesn't end up working out for us, but we still have possession. Ogbonna with it. Under a bit of pressure from Gakpo to go all the way back to Areola, who's going to pump it long, which will inevitably be off target. I mean, it was on target. It wasn't great, but it was on target at least, and we win a throw in from it. You got to love that bit. "21 minutes and a half, 21 and a half minutes is how most people would say it. Plus stoppage time. Can we bring Chesney Hawks on for a sing-along? No, but I'll start. I am the one and only. That was the most musically incapable. I don't know what you would describe it as. Diaz is through. Good save from Areola. That is the most musically inept thing I think I've ever done. And it was live on the internet. You'll love to see it. Again, as we try to push further forward, we're getting caught in behind, unsurprisingly, when you have Ogbonna and Zuma playing a high line. Not exactly something you can do. And Diaz goes flying through on the back of it. Header from McAllister, and thankfully, Areola collects that one. That was poor. That was poor. He should have done better from there. Alexander-Arnold pings it in towards him and he just nods it. The run in behind was really well timed and he just gets his head onto it and it was completely damp. That's how I describe that header. Damp. Anyway, we go from there. Go from there. Good interception. Good work there from Alvarez. Poor pass, but we come away with the ball regardless. Emerson and Kudus. Emerson overplays it a little bit, but we still have possession. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Dean. I wish that was the case. I wish that was the case. I got a blocked up nose, and for some reason, I instantly forgot every Chesney Hawk kit ever, somehow. It's poor for me, if we're being honest. It's poor for me. I genuinely can't be asked. I'll be honest with you. Genuinely cannot be asked. It's not a bad shout. Wants to bring the washing in, but it's chucking down, missed them, score. Might go and stay in the garden. The French rain is less depressing. Why not? Why not? You know? Curtis attempting to take the ball past 4 players as per usual and losing out. I love Mohamed Kudus, but he's the most frustrating player in the world to watch. His decision making is just whack. His decision making is just so bad. And it's because he's so good that sometimes he can just produce these mercurial magic moments. But my God. Just pass the ball, man. Just pass the ball. I'm watching SpongeBob. David of Lazarus is having a grand old time. Why not? Why not? Allison with a big boot forward. Somehow, I was going to say, I don't know how that didn't go out, but it did. It's going to be a throw into us. Sufal looking to take it quickly. Back to Zuma. West Ham playing it around at the back. Emerson does well to find it to Alvarez, looking for that cross-field ball. It was nicely done. Mikel Antonio gets the control. Lays it out wide to Vladimir Sofal. Looks to try and get the cross in. It's a poor cross, but we still have possession. Thanks to Alvarez couldn't quite get there. Sufal dives in as well. Ward-Prowse is going to come on for Thomas Souček in a moment, but West Ham are in trouble here. Cuts inside. I'll tell you what, that is a good save from Areola. That's the sort of stuff that you like Areola for. I have so many things I dislike about Areola, but that's the kind of stuff you like him for. 1v1, Liverpool do really well. It comes forward and he just pours it out of the area like it's nothing. Luis Diaz cuts inside on Zuma, who was just terrible, by the way. And yeah, well done from Areola. It's going to be, here comes the sub. James Ward-Prowse for Thomas Souček is a decision. I mock it, but then again, I literally don't know what else I would do. So at that point, fine. It's fine. I have nothing constructive to say, therefore I won't say anything at all. Does make us massively weaker defensively, and I don't think it makes us any more dangerous attacking wise. But, you know, if he can get further forward and start the press from further forward, then maybe that would change the game. Deep kick and obviously go straight back out. Liverpool are going to make a triple change. I think it's Salah, Nunez, and Gomez. You'd love to see it. Yeah, I don't. James Ward-Prowse, I don't think makes us any better going forward, and I think it makes us significantly worse defensively. I will say, Diaz does really well to somehow get around Ogbonna there and tries to charge forward. I tell you what, Sufal does well to come across and cover, fired across, and that was straight into the hands of Areola. But if we could get him further forward and pushing the back line, then maybe it would be. But he's playing deep, so he's not going to be able to press. So I don't really understand why the hell you bring on James Ward-Prowse, to be honest. I mean, it makes you better from set pieces, I guess. But you actually have to win the set pieces for it to be good. So Who knows? Who knows? Liverpool trying to pass the ball around on the edge of the area. Pass being forced back a little bit. Liverpool looking to pass it around. Us, we're sitting in our usual formation, just sort of holding them off right now. Some very mild pressing from Antonio and Paquetá. Nicely nipped away there. Jarrod Bowen works it back and Soufal gets the ball off, I don't know who it was, pretty nicely. Poor passing options available, but we've still managed to keep control of the ball and get it forward. Mikel Antonio managed to make a 5-yard pass look like the most difficult thing in the world there. And we get forced back yet again. Stress. Man of the match. I mean, so far I'd say Bowen. I never bother doing man of the match if we lose, and sometimes only if we draw. If there's a vibe, I do it, but Bowen. Kudus manages to wiggle his way forward. Mikel Antonio looking to dink it across. It's a poor cross. And Alisson controls it poorly. James Ward-Prowse going to nod back. The opportunity looks like it's maybe gone. Soufal tries to pass it into the box, which I'm not against given his crossing's been crap. I don't think it was him, actually. I think it was Jarrod Bowen who tried it. But that one from Soufal does then cross the ball and it's crap. So, you know. Emerson hits it. Emerson. Oh, save from Alisson. Emerson out of nowhere. Hits one, controls it down. It was destined to go into the far side. And Alisson Becker with a good save. Still have possession of the ball. We've been forced all the way back to the halfway line, but we still have possession. Is this game not over yet? God, it's felt like it has been for the entire second half, but maybe it hasn't. Jarrod Bowen wide on the right hand side. He's got Soufal on the overlap. Instead, decides to cut inside and place it towards Mikel Antonio. Gets his head onto it. It's in. It's 2-1. It's Mikel Antonio. Jarrod Bowen with the assist, dinking it across, just cuts inside. He has Soufal on the overlap, but instead of cutting him out or going for that cross from the wide area yet again, just dinks it across. And similarly to the last time they did it, Jarrod Bowen puts it in just behind the defense. Mikel Antonio gets his head onto it. 2-2. And Mikel Antonio does some dance. Paquetá finds Jarrod Bowen, who has the overlap option. Instead, he decides to cut inwards. Mikel Antonio is a mile onside as well. Round the back of Quansah, gets his head onto it. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. 2-2. Bloody hell. Maybe it's not over. I mean, are they about to bring on like Salah, Nunez and Gomez? Yeah, but maybe it's not over. Beautiful header as well from Mikel Antonio. Rises up, peels off from Quansah just that little bit, rises up and just cushions it back across the goal in the same way that McAllister was trying to do with his header earlier on, but more successfully with a little bit more power and direction. And there you go. So who's coming off for them? Diaz has come off. Endo's come off. And I don't know who the other one was. Trent. And Endo. So we're going to have Trent for Gomez. So they've weakened and strengthened at the same time there, Liverpool. Gomez has come on here. Who else was coming on? Salah and... So Salah will be here. Salah. And who's the other one? I just saw him. Nunez. Do you know what? Let's just do this. Two, three, four. I mean, listen, it's not over yet. And kind of insanely, it's not over yet. Don't know exactly how. Don't know exactly why. But it isn't over yet. Honestly, it probably should be. I think first half, we deserved a 1-0 lead, but that was all it was. Second half, they deserved a 2-1 win. Maybe could have had more, potentially, but just didn't. And we've shown again they've got weaknesses there. And as much as they have just strengthened, bringing on, you know, Salah and Nunes and that, they have also weakened. I mean, Diaz coming off is big for us. Endo coming off for us is sort of semi alright, although he was on a yellow card, so that could have been useful. Trent was having a good game, so bringing on Gomez in that sense is good for us. So they've weakened as well as strengthened. So this game's not over yet. This game isn't over yet. Mikel Antonio, a little bit more energy there. Maybe could have snuck in and nips that away, but can't get there. And Liverpool could come forward now down the left-hand side. James Ward-Prowse comes across to meet and force that one back. All in round the back there, looking to nip in. I tell you what, Alvarez does very well, although he pulls up under Robertson, who sort of pats him. I was concerned there because the way Robertson went across to him initially, but I think he'll be fine the way Robertson just sort of patted him on the back and walked away. Lots of talk about the top of the table, not about sixth. They keep showing the top three, which I get why, but come on. Anyway, Robertson to take the corner. Outswinger from our right-hand side, whips it in. Curtis Zuma gets the header away. Could have looked maybe to get the drop, but can't. Emerson heads that one away, but it's going to land at the feet of Gravenberch, who looks to whip it back in. Nodded away from Paquetá. Liverpool continue to have possession of the ball, but in a much deeper position. James Ward-Prowse, that's the press I'm looking for. Comes flying out. If we can match that, we don't. But that's the sort of situations where he is super useful. Kudus just fighting with his man wins the fight. Ball over the top, and I tell you what, Mikel Antonio is going to cause panic in Liverpool's back line, and he does. It's hooked forward. Kudus now fighting with Joe Gomez, trying to get the ball. Down goes Emerson. Okay. Edson, that's going to be a free kick to Liverpool. Foul on Harvey Elliott. Okay. Ooh. They were showing the sidelines. I saw David Moyes and Salah just before they came on, while the goal happened. I saw them having a little laugh and a joke. I don't know quite what had happened, but they were showing the clip just before then. There was a little disagreement between Salah and Klopp, which ended in Salah was very angry at Klopp, screaming at him, to which some of the other Liverpool players had to stop him. Ball over the top is poor from Alvarez. The idea was nice, but the pass was poor. Could have been through there, but it didn't quite work out. But yeah, Salah full on shouting with Klopp. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know what their relationship's like. I mean, it's not going to matter in about 4 games time, but still. James Ward-Prowse gives away a free kick. Going to be a free kick to Liverpool. Klopp and Salah having an argument. I think Klopp said, yes, you were as good as Antonio. Salah, he was not happy about it. Salah looking to try and dink it in. Ogbonna gets the clearance. Or at least gets the touch. It goes out for a Liverpool throw. Significantly deeper than they're trying to take it. They tried to take it about 15 yards ahead of where it went out, but sure. 8 shots on target each. They've had 24 attempts. We've had like 11, I think it was, or 12. Salah, this is a great opportunity for them. And Darwin Núñez. I think it's going to be a corner, but Jesus, Liverpool, nice quick passing. Salah plays it across to Núñez, and I think it was Vladimir Coufal with an incredible block, to be fair. Gets in just ahead of him. It is fair play. Vladimir Coufal does really, really well. Gets the block. Does absolutely brilliantly, covers really well. Somehow it's been given as a goal kick when it just was not. I thought it was a Darwin Núñez miss initially as well, and I guess boy who cried wolf. He misses enough of those sort of opportunities to where you just go, yeah, he's missed another. It's a goal kick, but it definitely wasn't. But you know, we move. Ogbonna tries to play the ball forward. Doesn't work. Harvey Elliott looking over the top for Mohamed Salah. Areola collects it quickly. Go on, if Salah's annoyed, go on, get into him. Have a little word in his ear. Get him, harry him a little bit, push him a little bit. Emerson looking for the first time pass forward to Antonio. And I'll tell you what, he does well to fight for it. Antonio is through, but the referee pulls it back for a foul on McAllister. I'm not sure what for. But he said high boot? Maybe he does kick him, to be fair. All right, fair enough. Just a little nick on the way through, not on purpose. He's trying to get the ball, but he does collect him. Fair enough. Fair enough. Curtis trying to stop Gomez. Can't. Little 1-2 with Salah. Charges down the line. Edson Alvarez matches him all the way and then dispossesses him nicely. It's going to be a free kick. Corner to them, but nicely done from Alvarez. Five minutes. Plus stoppage time to go. Who was it who said they would score and then we'd get a late equaliser and we'd end up drawing? Whoever that was, looking prophetic right now. Looking hella prophetic. Trying desperately to played in, header reward, a bloody hell header away from Emerson. Comes back down, back across the box. I tell you what, an Areola can't get a punch on it. Someone's there and he collects it second time. Good collection. Good collection. Looking at my... Just got caught up looking at my match bingo as the ball get played across. Gravenberch hits it, deflects downwards, and Emerson just in front of Areola can't get the initial punch, but thankfully it bounces up and Areola collects it. I was trying to check on my match bingo. It's just stress. I mean, I love the energy from Cody Gakpo. Anthony Taylor's come all the way back to Areola. What's he doing now? What's he doing now? I'm so confused as to what's going on. I've got no idea what's happening here. Anthony Taylor's called across the physio for Areola. Areola, who's now gone down. Gakpo's having a conversation with Anthony Taylor. I'm not entirely certain what happened there. If we're being honest, I have no clue what just happened. Areola... He lands awkwardly when collecting the ball and looks in pain. Then it's sort of carried on for ages. He then sort of threw the ball down. Gakpo came flying in. Referee says no. I'll be honest with you, genuinely have no clue what happened there. I've just watched the replay of the entire incident, and for the life of me, I could not understand what just happened. But, you know, they haven't scored. We have the ball. I'm not going to complain. But at the same time, no clue. Not the foggiest what's just happened. Drop a ball. Areola waits for Gakpo to come towards him, and then just collects it. God knows. God knows. Oh, I'm so close to a full house, but I don't think I'm going to manage it. Big boot over the top. Mikel Antonio looking to charge down on Quansah and wins a corner. Good work, Mikel Antonio. I tell you what, he's not had many opportunities to do stuff today, but what he has done, he's done well. He's fought hard for it. He's worked hard for it. He's done everything you could ask from him. He's had a good game. Despite everything, he's had a good game. Despite not really having the opportunities to flourish and shine, he has done well. And it's going to be a corner to us now. Ward-Prowse is now on the pitch, and it's an in-swinger, which means we all know where it's going to be. We all know what's about to happen. It's going to be an in-swinger towards near the front post, just behind it. Some big men are going to run in there, and it's going to be headed away. Here we go. James Ward-Prowse loads it up. Oh, he looks for the back post instead, and Addison comes out and punches it regardless. So there we go, pointless. And now they can counter-attack. Salah does Edson Alvarez for pace. He's charging down. He's got Emerson just ahead of him. He goes to the inside of him and then tries to pass it across to Nunez. Gets the pass. Poor from the back. Shot from range and fires off the bar from Liverpool. Harvey Elliott runs onto it, smashes it from range, always rising, and clobbers off the top of the bar and bounces up and high into the stands. So a good hit from Harvey Elliott. First touch to steady himself. Second one hits it. Edson Alvarez trying to get his head onto it. Areola can't get there. Boinks off the top of the bar. Szoboszlai is about to come on for Liverpool at some point. Played forward. Ogbonna manages to clear it away. We got stoppage time about to be announced. Szoboszlai is going to be coming on for Liverpool as well. Elliott plays out wide to Mohamed Salah. Back to Elliott. Looking to try and find a way in towards the box. Salah once again on the ball, looking for the underlap of Joe Gomez. Does find it, pulls it back, looking maybe towards him and Harvey Elliott again, but can't find it. Gakpo down to Salah in a more central position, looking to try and load up a shot. Can't find it. 5 minutes of added time has just been called. Harvey Elliott inside the box, lays it back out wide, dinks across the box, and Soufal, I tell you what, under no real pressure, probably could have let one out, but it is gonna be a corner. Szoboszlai about to come on for someone. For Gravenberch. I think. No, it's for Kwanzaa. As Liverpool are just sort of throwing everything at it at this point. God knows what the formation is. God knows what the vibe is. All I know is that they're all there. Corner to be taken from Liverpool. Played across. Header. Wonky. Back into the box. Tried Liverpool. Dinked in from Gravenberch and thankfully straight into the hands of Areola, who'll be collecting that one. God knows what the formation is from Liverpool, but they're just lobbing it in there and I respect it. And I respect it. Big launch from Areola. I tell you what, just throw it. That was beautiful. He's thrown it half the length of the pitch right to Mikel Antonio's head. From now on, just throw the ball. I don't want to see you kicking it long anymore. Perfect. That's all I need. I know we're all talking about subs, but I just don't know what subs to make. Like, I look there and I agree. I would want fresh legs. I'd want to, like, step to it. Mikel Antonio finally gets a free kick. Insane. But I'm just looking at it. I'm like, what subs do you even make? I look at that bench and I'm just like, there's nothing there to really do anything, you know? Who do I want to win the league? Anyone but City would be my argument. Anyone but City. As long as it's not City, I'm happy. I have a lot of Arsenal supporting friends. It would be nice for them. So sure, maybe Arsenal. You know? I don't want the stress of having to deal with that. But at the same time, it'd be nice for them. So go on, let them have it. But anyone but City is the answer. Just as long as City don't win it, I'm happy. Yeah, like I'm looking at the bench and I'm just like, again, pulling it back. Like Johnson, Cresswell, Phillips, Cornet, Ings. Are any of those really going to make a positive difference? I don't know. You can include Mubama on that list if you want. I just don't know. Like, whoever you bring on, bloody hell, Cross comes in and Soufal just calmly tests it down. Whoever you look at, whoever you take off to bring on one of those players drastically downgrades the ability on the pitch. And, like, fresh legs, I don't feel like are the problem. And I don't know what you do tactically to change that up. So I'm just like, whatever, man, you know? Head tennis is used in the middle of the pitch. Minute and a half to go. Mikel Antonio collects it. There's opportunities here. Tries to find Mohamed Kudus. I tell you what, Joe Gomez does well. A little bit harder pass. Oh, it's still in. Beautiful. Beautiful from Paquetá. Fights for that one well. Loses out on a second go. And it's going to be a throw into Liverpool who have managed to come away with it. Playing out wide. Liverpool, someone pulls up there, but they carry on playing Liverpool. One of their own players, Gakpo, dinks it in. Chested away from Emerson. Lands at the feet of McAllister. Harvey Elliott back towards him. They've got so many people in and around Liverpool. Back out wide to Szoboszlai, fires it in. Deflected pass, and this could be it. 30 seconds to go. Counter attack. Jarrod Bowen on the ball. Paquetá's there, but he's sort of just sliding along. He's got Kudus on the far side. He takes it past. He's taking him down. McAllister, he takes a yellow card for the team, but that's so annoying. It was the right thing to do. I mean, professional foul. It's the right thing to do, but Jesus Christ. Oh, that's so annoying. That was such a good opportunity. See, I don't want to win the league. One, they always win the league. Two, it's dodgy money, so whatever. And they also have cheated massively to get to where they are, blah, 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 blah. There's lots of reasons I don't want them to win it. Arsenal, I don't really mind if they win it. They've sort of gone about it relatively the right way. There's a lot of things I like about Arsenal. Do I want to have to deal with all of my friends being quite smug about it? No, not really. But at the same time, whatever. Liverpool, similar scenario. I like probably the manager more. I like Klopp more than I like Arteta. Ball in, Mikel Antonio controls it down, and so he can't get the shot away. That was the opportunity. I was talking as if it was over. Full-time whistle, 2-2. But yeah, as I said, literally anyone but City. I would rather Arsenal or Liverpool win it more than the financial doping and dodginess around Manchester City, if I'm being honest about it. 2-2. Virgil van Dijk just shaking his head there. I feel like for them, that's probably not good enough as well. I don't know how to feel about that ultimately. I'm going to have to go away and think about it. But Geo will be talking about it live in just a few moments' time on the channel. I'll spam that link in the live chat now so you can go and get over there and like the video because it will help him out massively as he breaks down what was ultimately a game of missed chances probably from both sides. 2-2 is the final score at the London Stadium between Liverpool and West Ham. Spam that link in. Go head over to that link I've just spammed. Get involved there. Head on over to Geo. He's going to be breaking it down in full details in just a few moments' time. And like the video as well because it will help us out massively. But anyway, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you all. We'll be back for the next game, of course, with the preview, the build-up show, the watch-along, and the review and everything else. Just myself and Geo will be live at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning discussing this match in much more deep circumstances. But until then, head on over to the review that Gio's doing now and enjoy yourself. Speak to you later, everyone. Appreciate you all. Bye. Oh, and thank you to Nicholas, to Ross, to Susan, and to the Oxby. Massively appreciate you all. Right. See you later. Bye, everyone.